I am the Flash. Chapter 1, Barry. The first thing he felt was pain, an all-encompassing, searing pain that coursed through every fiber of his being. Slowly, consciousness returned, and he became aware of his surroundings. He was lying on a hospital bed, the cold sheets beneath him contrasting with the heat that still lingered in his veins. The smell of disinfectant filled his nostrils, and the steady beep of a heart monitor echoed in the quiet room. His eyes fluttered open, struggling against the harsh overhead light. The room around him was sterile and white, filled with medical equipment humming quietly. Panic rose within him as memories flooded back his life on Earth, the storm, the bolt of lightning that had struck him down. And now, inexplicably, he was here, in a place that looked like a hospital but felt utterly foreign. He tried to sit up, but his muscles were weak, and a wave of dizziness washed over him. Where am I? He whispered, his voice cracking from disuse. The door to the room opened, and a man in a wheelchair rolled in. He had dark hair and an expression of cautious optimism. Dr. Harrison Wells, the name came to him unbidden, a familiar face from a world he had only seen on television. Barry, you're awake, Wells said, relief evident in his voice. How are you feeling? Barry. The name felt strange and familiar all at once. He wasn't Barry Allen, he was someone else, someone who had died and, somehow, been reborn in this world. I don't know, he replied slowly, trying to reconcile the overwhelming sense of déjà vu with his new reality. What happened? Wells moved closer, his expression sympathetic. There was an accident, Barry. The particle accelerator exploded, and you were struck by lightning. You've been in a coma for 9 months. Barry struggled to process the information, his mind grappling with the duality of his existence. Memories of his previous life on Earth clashed with the new, vivid memories of Barry Allen, his childhood, his work as a forensic scientist, his friends, and family. Everything felt both foreign and intimately familiar. As he lay there, trying to make sense of it all, another figure entered the room, a woman with dark hair and eyes filled with a mixture of relief and worry. Iris West, his mind supplied. Barry. Iris exclaimed, rushing to his side. She took his hand in hers, her touch warm and reassuring. I'm so glad you're awake. We were so worried. He looked at her, feeling a deep connection that transcended the confusion. Iris, he whispered, his voice filled with emotion he couldn't quite explain. I'm here. Tears shimmered in Iris's eyes as she smiled, squeezing his hand gently. We've missed you so much, Barry. Everyone has been so worried. Barry nodded, still grappling with the surreality of his situation. He remembered the storm, the lightning, the feeling of his life slipping away. And now he was here, in a place that was both familiar and strange. I missed you too, he said, his voice trembling with emotion. I'm sorry I worried you. Dr. Wells cleared his throat, drawing their attention. Barry, your recovery is nothing short of miraculous. You were in critical condition when you arrived here. But now, you're awake and speaking. We'll need to run some tests to understand your condition fully, but for now, just rest. Barry took a deep breath, trying to absorb everything. Thank you, Dr. Wells. I'll do whatever tests you need. Wells nodded, a look of pride in his eyes. You're a remarkable young man, Barry. We'll figure this out together. Iris looked at Barry with concern and affection. You've been through so much. Just focus on getting better, okay? We're all here for you. As he lay back against the pillows, Barry felt a mix of fear and determination. He didn't fully understand how he had come to inhabit the body and life of Barry Allen, but he knew he had a chance to make a difference. To protect the people he cared about and to discover the true extent of his new reality. And then, as if from nowhere, a flood of memories rushed through his mind, memories of his past life, his present life, and the moment of his death. He saw flashes of lightning, heard the rumble of thunder, felt the searing pain as electricity surged through his body. But amidst the chaos, he also saw a strange entity, a being of light and energy, its form shifting and shimmering. It had offered him a choice, a chance to begin anew, to take on the mantle of the Flash and protect the world from darkness. And with that choice came a gift, a surge of power, an influx of knowledge, and a sense of purpose that transcended the boundaries of time and space. As the memories faded, Barry felt a renewed sense of determination settle over him. He didn't fully understand how or why he had been given this second chance, but he knew one thing for certain, he would not waste it. I'm ready, Barry said, his voice firm with resolve. Ready to face whatever comes next. And with those words, he closed his eyes, allowing himself to rest and recover, knowing that the journey ahead would be unlike anything he had ever imagined. But he was ready. Ready to embrace his new life as Barry Allen, the Flash, and to become the hero he was meant to be. Chapter 2, System. Barry lay back against the pillows, feeling the weight of his new reality settling in. As he began to relax, he heard a faint ding sound in his head, like a notification alert. It startled him, making him sit up slightly. He looked around, but the room was silent, save for the rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor. What was that? Barry muttered to himself, furrowing his brow. As if in response to his question, a translucent screen appeared in front of his eyes, filled with text and icons. It looked like something out of a video game or a futuristic sci-fi movie. Barry blinked, trying to focus on the words. Welcome, Barry Allen. You have been granted the following perks to aid you in your new journey ****. Status ***. Level *1. Experience points, XP 0/100. Health *100%. Currency *0 credits. Abilities *. Speed Force *. Enhanced speed, level 1 tap into the speed force for extraordinary speed. XP required to level up *50. Accelerated healing, level 1 recover from injuries at an accelerated rate. XP required to level up *50. Enhanced perception, level 1 react and process information at superhuman speeds. XP required to level up *50. Speed force knowledge, level 1 access knowledge about the speed force and its capabilities. XP required to level up *100. Temporal awareness, level 1 slight awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up *100. Strength force *. Enhanced strength, level 1 gain immense physical strength beyond normal human limits. XP required to level up *75. Durability, level 1 increased resistance to physical damage. XP required to level up *75. Sage force *. Enhanced intellect, level 1 access to vast knowledge and rapid learning capabilities. XP required to level up *100. Mental fortitude, level 1 increased resistance to mental attacks and influence. XP required to level up *100. Still force *. Time manipulation, level 1 ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up *150. Inertia control, level 1 control over kinetic energy, allowing for manipulation of motion. XP required to level up *150. Deadpool's abilities *. Regenerative healing factor, level 1 rapidly heal from any injury, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up *200. Enhanced reflexes, level 1 superhuman reflexes and agility. XP required to level up *100. Pain suppression, level 1 reduced sensation of pain, allowing for higher pain tolerance. XP required to level up *100. Combat skills, level 1 proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up *100. Shop *. Status *locked. Requirements to unlock level 5. Dungeon *. Status locked. Requirements to unlock level 10. Missions Daily quest *. Train for at least 1 hour. Reward *5 XP, 1 credit. Weekly quest *. Test and verify all known abilities. Reward *20 XP, 5 credits. Monthly quest *. Complete a significant feat using your powers, example saving a life, stopping a crime, reward *50 XP, 20 credits. Yearly quest *. Protect Central City from a major threat. Reward *200 XP, 100 credits. Barry's eyes widened as he read the list. He could feel a strange energy buzzing within him, a new power ready to be unleashed. He had seen Barry Allen use some of these abilities on television, but to experience them firsthand was overwhelming. Additionally, the mention of Deadpool's abilities intrigued him. Rapid healing? Enhanced reflexes? This could be invaluable. What is this? He whispered, half in awe, half in disbelief. Barry, are you okay? Iris's voice broke through his thoughts, pulling him back to the present. He quickly blinked, and the screen vanished. Yeah, just, feeling a bit strange. Dr. Wells, still observing from his wheelchair, nodded thoughtfully. It's to be expected. Your body has been through a tremendous ordeal. Barry forced a smile, trying to hide the sudden influx of information and the strange screen he had seen. I'm just tired, I guess. Iris gently squeezed his hand again. Get some rest, Barry. We'll be right here. As Iris and Dr. Wells continued to talk quietly, Barry closed his eyes, focusing inward. He could still feel the strange energy within him, the perks granted by the entity. He decided to test one of the simpler abilities. Concentrating, he focused on his hand, willing it to move faster. To his astonishment, his hand began to vibrate at an incredible speed, a faint blur. He quickly stopped, glancing at Iris and Wells to see if they had noticed. Fortunately, they were engrossed in their conversation. Barry let out a slow breath, amazed by the newfound control. He felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. The entity had given him these gifts for a reason, and he intended to use them wisely. As he settled back, preparing to rest, the faint ding sound echoed in his head again. This time, a smaller message appeared. Objective, embrace your destiny. Learn to control your abilities. Protect Central City. Barry's heart skipped a beat at the simplicity yet magnitude of the objectives. He looked at Dr. Wells, who was now wheeling himself towards the door, his expression unreadable. Determined to uncover the mysteries of his new life, Barry vowed to train his abilities and find out why he had been brought to this world. He closed his eyes, letting the soothing darkness take over as he drifted into sleep, ready to face whatever challenges awaited him. The journey ahead would be difficult, but he was no longer just a man struck by lightning. He was Barry Allen, the Flash, reborn with the power to change the world. Chapter 3, Telling the Others. The next morning, Barry woke up in his own apartment, the familiar surroundings offering a small comfort amidst the whirlwind of recent events. He looked around, taking in the sight of his modest living space photos of his parents, bookshelves filled with scientific journals, and a small kitchen that he hardly used. The weight of his new reality pressed down on him again, making his head spin. Barry made himself a cup of coffee, hoping the caffeine would help him think clearly. He sat down at the small table in his kitchen, the translucent screen from yesterday flashing into his vision once more. The objectives were still there, urging him to embrace his destiny and protect Central City. Objective, embrace your destiny. Learn to control your abilities. Protect Central City. The words lingered in his mind as he sipped his coffee. He knew he had to make a decision. Should he follow the familiar path and go to STAR Labs, or should he strike out on his own, using his powers as he saw fit? Barry weighed his options. STAR Labs had resources, knowledgeable allies like Dr. Wells, Cisco, and Caitlin, and the means to help him understand his abilities. On the other hand, going solo meant he could keep his abilities a secret and avoid any potential manipulations or conflicts. However, he knew he couldn't do it all alone. He would need guidance, training, and a support system to truly master his powers and protect the city effectively. As he pondered, Barry's phone buzzed, pulling him out of his thoughts. It was a text from Iris. Iris *K. Barry. How are you feeling today? Any better? Barry smiled at her concern and quickly replied. Barry * feeling much better, thanks. Just trying to figure some things out. Iris * I'm here if you need to talk. We all want to help you. Barry sighed, feeling the weight of his decision. He knew he couldn't ignore the support system already in place for him at STAR Labs. With his decision made, Barry felt a sense of relief. He knew the path ahead would be challenging, but having friends and allies by his side made it feel more manageable. He quickly got dressed and headed out the door, his heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. S.T.A.R Labs. Barry arrived at STAR Labs, greeted by the familiar sight of the towering building. As he walked through the doors, he was met by Cisco and Caitlin, their faces lighting up with smiles. Barry, it's good to see you here, Cisco said, giving him a friendly clap on the back. Caitlin nodded in agreement. We're really glad you decided to come. We were not here when you woke up, so when Dr. Wells told us you already left, I felt a little disappointed. I wanted to look at your vitals and see if you were truly okay, given the fact that you were struck by lightning and miraculously survived. Speaking of lightning, Barry said as he stood in the midst of the duo, I think it changed me in ways I don't think is humanly possible. Caitlin and Cisco exchanged puzzled glances, and Dr. Wells, who had just wheeled into the room, raised an eyebrow with interest. Changed you how? Cisco asked, his voice a mix of curiosity and concern. Barry took a deep breath, deciding it was time to reveal the truth. I think the lightning gave me powers. The room fell silent for a moment, the only sound being the faint hum of the lab equipment. Barry could see the disbelief on their faces, but he pressed on. Watch this, Barry said, stepping back and taking a deep breath. He focused on the energy within him, willing his body to move at superhuman speed. In an instant, he sprinted around the room, the world around him becoming a blur. He stopped in front of them, heart pounding from the exertion. Cisco's mouth dropped open, and Caitlin took a step back, her eyes wide with shock. Dr. Wells, however, seemed more intrigued than surprised. Holy, you really are fast, Cisco finally said, his voice filled with awe. How is this possible? Caitlin asked, moving closer to Barry, her scientific curiosity piqued. I mean, we know the lightning strike affected you, but this. Barry nodded. I don't fully understand it myself. But there's more. He decided to show them another ability. Concentrating, he allowed his hand to vibrate at incredible speed. The effect was mesmerizing, his hand becoming a blur of motion. That's incredible, Caitlin breathed, her eyes locked on Barry's vibrating hand. And you said there's more? Cisco asked, his mind racing with possibilities. Barry nodded. I also heal faster. Cuts, bruises, they heal almost instantly. And I can process information at superhuman speeds. It's like my brain is working in overdrive. Dr. Wells, who had been quietly observing, finally spoke. This is truly fascinating, Barry. The lightning strike must have triggered a latent metagene in your DNA. It's something we theorized but never had concrete evidence of until now. Barry glanced at Dr. Wells while controlling his anger as he remembered the night that changed everything for him. He vowed he was going to take revenge for what he did, but for now, he needed his guidance. I need your help to control these abilities. To understand them. Dr. Wells nodded, a small smile playing on his lips. Of course, Barry. We'll help you. This is a remarkable opportunity, not just for you, but for all of us to learn more about metahuman abilities. Cisco clapped his hands together, his enthusiasm bubbling over. This is going to be awesome. Just think of all the tech we can develop to help you. We can make you a suit, gadgets, the works. Caitlin smiled, her initial shock giving way to excitement. And we can monitor your vitals, track your progress. This is groundbreaking. Barry felt a surge of relief and gratitude. Despite his reservations about Dr. Wells, he knew he couldn't do this alone. Thank you, all of you. I couldn't ask for a better team. As they discussed their next steps, Barry felt a renewed sense of purpose. He wasn't just Barry Allen anymore. He was something more, someone capable of making a real difference. With the support of his friends and the resources of STAR Labs, he was ready to embrace his destiny and protect Central City. Chapter 4, Time to Suit Up. CCPD Station. Barry stood in his office at the CCPD, staring intently at the board filled with notes, photos, and evidence about his mother's case. This board had been his constant companion, a symbol of his relentless pursuit of justice. Each piece of evidence was meticulously placed, every connection carefully drawn. It represented years of work, sleepless nights, and unwavering determination. But now, everything had changed. He took a deep breath and began to remove the pieces from the board. Photos of his mother, newspaper clippings about the night she was murdered, and documents detailing his father's wrongful imprisonment all were methodically taken down and placed in a box. As he worked, he spoke softly to himself, the words almost a mantra. There's no need for this anymore. I know who killed my mother. I know who destroyed my family. And I'm going to make him pay. Barry paused, his hand resting on a photo of his mother. He stared at it, memories flooding back, her smile, her laugh, the warmth of her embrace. The pain of losing her felt as fresh as it did the night it happened. But now, it was mingled with a burning resolve. He looked across his office, his gaze hardening. I'm going to bring you to justice, Wells. You won't get away with what you've done. Barry finished clearing the board, the once cluttered space now bare. It was a symbolic act, clearing away the past to make room for the future. He knew the path ahead would be fraught with danger and challenges, but he was ready. With his newfound abilities and the support of his friends, he had the tools he needed to confront the man responsible for his mother's death. His phone buzzed, pulling him out of his thoughts. It was a message from Joe. Joe *, Barry, we need you right now. There's been a robbery. This time, it's at a jewelry store. The footage shows a strange fog. Barry's jaw tightened. Another metahuman. It must be Martin. He clearly remembered that he was the first metahuman to appear, which made the Barry Allen from the TV series don the red suit, and it seemed it was going to be the same for him. Barry * on my way. He grabbed his jacket and headed out the door, determination etched on his face. He was ready to embrace his destiny, protect Central City, and seek justice for his mother. The road ahead was uncertain, but Barry Allen was no longer just a forensic scientist. He was ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. S.T.A.R Labs, Time Vault. Dr. Harrison Wells stood in the Time Vault, surrounded by advanced technology and shrouded in secrecy. He gazed at the screens displaying various future events, a mixture of concern and curiosity on his face. He turned to the AI system that had been his confidant for years. Gideon, Wells began, his voice echoing slightly in the confined space, has there been any change in the future? The holographic figure of Gideon appeared, her serene and calm demeanor ever present. Accessing future records, Dr. Wells. Wells drummed his fingers on the armrest of his wheelchair, a sign of his growing impatience. After a moment, Gideon responded. There have been minor deviations in the timeline, but nothing significant enough to alter the major events we have monitored. However, there are notable differences in Barry Allen's behavior and actions. Wells narrowed his eyes, intrigued. Explain. Gideon continued. The current Barry Allen appears to have a heightened sense of determination and a more immediate drive for justice. His acceptance of his powers and his willingness to embrace his destiny have accelerated compared to the Barry Allen from the original timeline. Wells leaned forward slightly. What could be the cause of these changes? Gideon paused, processing the question. The deviations could be due to a variety of factors. One possible explanation is Barry Allen's awareness of the identity of his mother's killer. In the original timeline, this realization came much later, which influenced his development and approach to his powers. Wells' expression darkened as he contemplated this. Is there any indication that Barry suspects me? Gideon responded, there is no direct evidence to suggest that Barry Allen suspects your true identity at this time. However, his actions are increasingly unpredictable, which could pose a threat to your plans. Wells sighed, a mixture of frustration and determination crossing his features. This Barry Allen is proving to be more formidable than anticipated. We must ensure that he continues down the path we've set for him without becoming aware of our true objectives. Gideon acknowledged, understood, Dr. Wells. I will continue to monitor Barry Allen's actions and any further deviations in the timeline. As the holographic figure of Gideon faded, Wells turned his gaze to the darkened screens in the vault. The game was evolving, and he needed to stay several steps ahead. The speedster was growing stronger, and the stakes were higher than ever. Central City, jewelry store. Barry arrived at the jewelry store, the aftermath of the robbery evident from the broken glass and the panicked expressions of the store employees. Joe was already there, directing officers and securing the scene. He spotted Barry and motioned him over. Barry, glad you're here. This is worse than we thought, Joe said, his voice filled with urgency. Barry nodded, glancing around. What do we know? Joe handed him a tablet with the security footage. Take a look at this. Barry watched as the footage played, showing the store becoming enveloped in a thick, unnatural fog. Shapes moved within the fog, indistinct but clearly taking advantage of the cover to commit the robbery. It's Martin, Barry said, his voice tense. He's back and he's using his powers more brazenly. Joe shook his head in disbelief. Barry, that's impossible. I saw Martin die. Both he and his brother went down in that plane crash after they killed my partner. They can't be alive. Barry glanced at Joe, understanding his skepticism. I know it sounds crazy, Joe, but the evidence is right here. This fog, it's not natural. It has to be him, or at least someone with similar abilities. Joe stared at the footage again, the fog swirling on the screen. If it is Martin, then how is he doing this? How did he survive, and more importantly, how did he get these powers? Barry took a deep breath, weighing his words carefully. He couldn't reveal his own abilities just yet. I don't have all the answers, but I think the particle accelerator explosion might have something to do with it. We've seen some strange things since that night. Joe's disbelief was palpable. Barry, I can't entertain these wild theories. We need evidence, not speculation. Barry sighed, frustration simmering beneath the surface. He understood Joe's skepticism. After all, the idea of metahumans was difficult to grasp. But he couldn't ignore what he knew to be true. I'm telling you, Joe, Martin is out there, and he's a threat to the city, Barry insisted. Before Joe could respond, they received a call over the radio about a disturbance at an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Barry's senses tingled with anticipation. This could be their chance to apprehend Martin and put an end to his crimes. Time to suit up. Chapter 5, I am the Flash. S.T.A.R. Labs, Main Lab. Barry entered STAR Labs, determination etched on his face. He found Harrison Wells in the main lab, surrounded by advanced equipment and the hum of technology. Dr. Wells, Barry began, his voice steady, I've made a decision. I'm going to help protect the citizens of Central City from people with powers like mine who intend to harm others. Wells looked up from his work, concern flashing across his face. Barry, you are the key to many future ailments due to your healing factor. You must understand how vital your safety is to the future. Barry shook his head, his resolve unwavering. I can't just stand by and do nothing. People are getting hurt, and I have the ability to stop it. I won't take no for an answer. Wells sighed, frustration mingling with concern. This path you're choosing is dangerous, Barry. But I understand your conviction. Barry remained firm. I have to do this, Dr. Wells. I can't ignore my responsibility. Wells' expression hardened. You don't understand the ramifications, Barry. Playing hero could jeopardize everything we've worked for. Your safety is paramount. Barry's jaw tightened. I understand the risks, but I can't stand by while people suffer. If I have the power to help, I have to use it. Wells, seeing Barry's determination, turned away in frustration. You're making a mistake, Barry. A costly one. Without another word, Wells wheeled out of the control center, leaving Barry standing there, the tension in the room palpable. Barry turned to Cisco and Caitlin, a plea for support in his eyes. Barry turned to look at Cisco and Caitlin for help. He approached them, his expression earnest. Cisco, Caitlin, I need your help. I'm going to protect Central City, and I need a suit that can keep up with my abilities. Cisco grinned, excited by the challenge. You've come to the right place, Barry. I've been working on something that might just do the trick. He led Barry and Caitlin to a nearby room and unveiled a sleek, red suit displayed on a mannequin. This is it, Cisco said proudly. The suit is made of a reinforced tripolymer, designed to withstand high-speed impacts and extreme conditions. It's also heat-resistant and aerodynamic, which should help with your super speed. Barry's eyes widened in appreciation as he gazed at the suit. It's incredible, Cisco. Thank you. Cisco grinned, clearly pleased with Barry's reaction. No problem, Barry. Just make sure you bring it back in one piece. Barry chuckled, I'll do my best. He turned to Caitlin, who was watching him with a mix of concern and pride. Thank you, Caitlin. Your support means everything. Caitlin smiled warmly. Just be careful out there, Barry. Barry nodded, then turned back to the suit, running his fingers over the sleek material. You know, he said thoughtfully, this is great, but I'm going to make the next one. Cisco raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Oh really? And how are you going to do that? Barry smirked, a confident glint in his eyes. You'll see. Before Cisco could respond, Barry suited up and gave them a final nod. Then, in a blur of red lightning, he zoomed out of the lab, leaving Cisco and Caitlin standing there, astonished. Central City streets. Barry raced through the streets of Central City, the world around him a blur of colors and lights. The exhilaration of running at superhuman speeds was unparalleled, a feeling of absolute freedom and power. As he ran, Barry couldn't help but reflect on the journey that had brought him to this moment. My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive. When I was a child, I saw my mother killed by something impossible. My father went to prison for her murder. Then an accident made me the impossible. The cityscape whizzed by, each stride taking him further and faster. To the outside world, I'm an ordinary forensic scientist. But secretly, with the help of my friends at STAR Labs, I fight crime and find other metahumans like me. Barry weaved through traffic, his movements fluid and precise. I am the only one fast enough to stop them. I am the Flash. Damn, I have been wanting to say that ever since I arrived. With newfound determination, Barry pushed himself even harder, feeling the electric energy coursing through his veins. He was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, to protect his city and bring justice to those who sought to harm it. As he continued his run, he felt a surge of hope and purpose. This was his destiny, and he was ready to embrace it with everything he had. Barry's journey as the Flash had just begun, but he knew that with the support of his friends and the strength of his resolve, there was nothing he couldn't overcome. Central City was safe, and the Flash was on the case. As Barry continued his run, feeling the wind rush past him and the pavement blur beneath his feet, a sudden ping interrupted his thoughts. He slowed to a stop, his surroundings gradually coming into focus. A holographic screen appeared before him, displaying a message from the system. Mission, debut as a hero. Objective, assist Joe and Eddie in confronting the metahuman Martin at the warehouse. Reward, enhanced speed ability and advanced combat training program. Barry's eyes lit up with determination. This was his chance to make a difference, to prove that he could protect Central City. A/N. Okay, for those of you who are wondering why the main character is not acting like a transmigrator or why is he still acting like Barry, well that's because he is Barry. Much will be explained in the later chapters, so just sit tight and enjoy. May the forces be with you. Chapter 6, The Future Has Changed. Abandoned warehouse, outskirts of Central City. Barry arrived at the warehouse, the scene already tense with police presence. He could see Joe inside, his figure outlined against the dim light filtering through broken windows. Barry's senses were on high alert as he moved closer to the entrance, taking in the sound of Joe shouting commands and the crash of thunder overhead. Eddie lay unconscious on the ground, clearly having taken a hit during the confrontation. Joe was desperately trying to drag him to safety while keeping an eye on Clyde Martin, who stood at the center of the warehouse, manipulating the weather with his hands. Barry, now fully suited up as the Flash, knew he had to act fast. He took a deep breath and zoomed into the warehouse, his movements a blur of red lightning. Inside the warehouse, Joe turned, startled by the sudden appearance of the red-suited figure. "Who the hell are you?" he demanded, his voice a mix of fear and confusion. Barry didn't have time to explain. "I'm here to help," he said simply, his voice firm and reassuring. "Get Eddie out of here." Joe hesitated for a moment, then nodded, trusting this strange but seemingly capable ally. He grabbed Eddie under the arms and started dragging him towards the exit. Martin sneered, his eyes narrowing as he recognized the threat. "Another hero wannabe. Let's see how fast you can dodge this." He raised his hands, summoning a powerful gust of wind aimed directly at Barry. But Barry was too quick, zigzagging through the warehouse and reaching Martin in a heartbeat. As he approached, a display of Martin's stats appeared in Barry's field of vision. Metahuman profile, Clyde Martin. Abilities, weather manipulation, including the creation of storms, lightning, and wind gusts. Threat level, high. Weakness, concentration dependent, disrupt his focus to weaken his control. Barry stopped just a few feet from Martin, the tension in the air palpable. "Clyde Martin," Barry called out, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "This ends now. You won't hurt anyone else." Martin laughed, his expression twisted with arrogance. "You think you can stop me? You're just a man in a red suit." Barry's eyes narrowed. "I'm more than that. I'm the Flash." Martin smirked, raising his hands to summon another powerful gust of wind. "We'll see about that, Flash." Barry dodged the initial attack with ease, his super speed allowing him to maneuver around Martin's wind blasts. He circled Martin at high speed, creating a vortex that disrupted Martin's control over the weather. Martin's concentration wavered, and the storm clouds above began to dissipate. Barry took advantage of the opening, delivering a series of rapid punches, each one landing with precision and force. Martin stumbled, struggling to regain control. He raised his hands, summoning a bolt of lightning aimed directly at Barry. But Barry was faster, sidestepping the attack and closing the distance between them in an instant. With one final, powerful blow, Barry knocked Martin to the ground. Martin lay unconscious, the threat neutralized. Joe had managed to get Eddie to safety and was now staring at the warehouse, anxiety etched on his face. When Barry emerged, carrying the unconscious Martin over his shoulder, Joe's eyes widened in disbelief. You did it," Joe said, still trying to process what he was seeing. Barry gently laid Martin down and approached Joe. "He's secure now. Make sure he gets to a facility that can handle his abilities." Joe nodded slowly, still in shock. "Who are you?" he asked again, his voice softer this time. Barry gave him a reassuring smile. "Just someone who wants to help. Take care, detective." Before Joe could say anything more, Barry sped away, leaving a trail of red lightning in his wake. S.T.A.R Labs, later. Back at STAR Labs, Barry stood with Cisco and Caitlin, who were reviewing the footage of his first mission as the Flash. "You were amazing out there, Barry," Caitlin said, her voice filled with pride. Cisco nodded enthusiastically. "And the suit held up perfectly. Great job, man." Barry smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment. "I couldn't have done it without you guys." Just then, the system pinged again, and a new message appeared before Barry. "Mission complete. Objective, assist Joe and Eddie in confronting the metahuman Martin at the warehouse. Reward, enhanced speed ability and advanced combat training program." Barry felt a surge of energy course through him as the reward activated. He could feel his speed increasing, his reflexes becoming sharper. Alongside it, an influx of knowledge on advanced combat techniques filled his mind, giving him the skills to handle future threats more effectively. He looked at his friends. "This is just the beginning. We're going to protect this city, together." Cisco and Caitlin exchanged glances, ready to support Barry in his journey as the Flash. As Barry prepared for the challenges ahead, he knew that with his enhanced abilities and the unwavering support of his friends, Central City was in good hands. The Flash was here to stay. Time Vault, STAR Labs. Harrison Wells maneuvered his wheelchair through the dimly lit Time Vault beneath STAR Labs, his gaze fixed on the holographic projection before him. The console displayed a newspaper from a future timeline, dated with the headline, "Flash defeats Cicada once and for all." Wells studied the image, curated meticulously by Iris Thon West, capturing a pivotal moment in Central City's history. The hologram depicted Barry Allen in 2024, his form clad in a suit that bore a sleek, less bulky design reminiscent of Savitar's armor. The suit's matte crimson exterior gleamed subtly under the holographic lights, adorned with intricate metallic accents that spoke of advanced technology and formidable protection. The streamlined armor hugged Barry's frame, emphasizing both agility and resilience, a stark departure from Savitar's imposing bulk. Integrated into the suit were strategic armor platings across his chest, shoulders, and forearms, providing essential protection without hindering his swift movements. The helmet, seamlessly molded into the suit's collar, offered full head coverage and featured a sophisticated visor with a heads-up display, enhancing Barry's situational awareness during combat. As Barry pinned Cicada against the warehouse wall with unwavering resolve, the suit's subtle red lighting elements illuminated with each movement, echoing the pulsating energy coursing through his enhanced form. The lightning bolt emblem, boldly emblazoned across his chest, symbolized courage and hope for Central City, a beacon of strength in the face of adversity. The scene encapsulated Barry's evolution as the Flash, a hero honed through countless trials and victories over formidable adversaries like Cicada. Wells contemplated the profound impact of Iris's chronicle, recognizing the indelible mark Barry's journey had left on Central City's future and the legacy of heroism he embodied. The future has changed, Wells murmured to himself, his gaze shifting between the holographic headline and the redesigned Flash. Thawne, not Alan. He traced the name Iris Thawne west with a contemplative finger, acknowledging the significance of her contribution to documenting these pivotal moments. The realization that Iris was now linked to the Thawne lineage, instead of the Alan lineage as previously known, added a new layer of complexity to Barry's story. It meant that Iris was not just a chronicler of history but potentially a key figure in shaping it, her ancestry intertwined with the enigmatic Thawne legacy. Chapter 7, Level Up. Barry's apartment, morning. The first light of dawn filtered through the curtains, casting a warm glow over the room. Barry stirred awake, the events of the previous day replaying in his mind. His body felt different, energized, stronger. He could feel the residual effects of the rewards from the system. Pushing off the covers, Barry sat up and stretched, the early morning silence broken only by the distant hum of the city. He got out of bed and moved to the bathroom, splashing water on his face to shake off the remnants of sleep. The reflection staring back at him was that of a man determined, ready to embrace the challenges ahead. Barry's apartment, kitchen. After a quick breakfast, Barry donned his work attire, fastening his tie with practiced ease. Just as he was about to grab his keys and head out, something nudged at the back of his mind. He paused, his eyes narrowing as he mentally accessed his system tab. System interface. Status asterisk. Level asterisk 1. Experience points, XP 80/100. Health asterisk 100%. Currency asterisk 0 credits. Abilities asterisk. Speed force asterisk. Enhanced speed, level 1 tap into the speed force for extraordinary speed. XP required to level up asterisk 50. Accelerated healing, level 1 recover from injuries at an accelerated rate. XP required to level up asterisk 50. Enhanced perception, level 1 react and process information at superhuman speeds. XP required to level up asterisk 50. Speed force knowledge, level 1 access knowledge about the speed force and its capabilities. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Temporal awareness, level 1 slight awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Strength force asterisk. Enhanced strength, level 1 gain immense physical strength beyond normal human limits. XP required to level up asterisk 75. Durability, level 1 increased resistance to physical damage. XP required to level up asterisk 75. Sage force asterisk. Enhanced intellect, level 1 access to vast knowledge and rapid learning capabilities. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Mental fortitude, level 1 increased resistance to mental attacks and influence. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Still force asterisk. Time manipulation, level 1 ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up asterisk 150. Inertia control, level 1 control over kinetic energy, allowing for manipulation of motion. XP required to level up asterisk 150. Deadpool's abilities asterisk. Regenerative healing factor, level 1 rapidly heal from any injury, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Enhanced reflexes, level 1 superhuman reflexes and agility. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Pain suppression, level 1 reduced sensation of pain, allowing for higher pain tolerance. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Combat skills, level 1 proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up asterisk 100. Shop asterisk. Status asterisk locked. Requirements to unlock asterisk level 5. Dungeon asterisk. Status asterisk locked. Requirements to unlock asterisk level 10. Missions asterisk. Daily quest asterisk. Train for at least 1 hour. Reward asterisk 5 XP, 1 credit. Weekly quest asterisk. Test and verify all known abilities. Reward asterisk 20 XP, 5 credits. Monthly quest asterisk. Complete a significant feat using your powers, example saving a life, stopping a crime. Reward asterisk 50 XP, 20 credits. Yearly quest asterisk. Protect Central City from a major threat. Reward asterisk 200 XP, 100 credits. Barry scanned through the updates, his mind racing with possibilities. The integration of advanced combat techniques was particularly intriguing. He could feel the knowledge within him, like a latent instinct waiting to be unleashed. His experience bar was close to completion, a testament to the progress he was making. Barry's apartment, living room. After reviewing his system tab, Barry decided to complete his daily and weekly quests. He knew he needed to train and verify his abilities without relying on the facilities at STAR Labs. The early morning provided the perfect opportunity to do so. Abandoned warehouse, outskirts of Central City. Barry arrived at a deserted warehouse he often used for training. It was secluded and spacious, making it ideal for testing his powers without attracting attention. He glanced around, ensuring he was alone, then began his training regimen. Enhanced speed and perception training. Barry tapped into the speed force, feeling the familiar surge of energy. He sprinted across the warehouse, weaving through the scattered debris with lightning-fast precision. His enhanced perception allowed him to process every detail, reacting to obstacles in an instant. He pushed his speed to the limit, the air crackling with red lightning as he moved. Accelerated healing and combat skills. Switching gears, Barry focused on his combat skills. He conjured a series of holographic opponents using the technology he'd set up in the warehouse. Each enemy required different strategies and techniques. Barry's movements were fluid and precise, his enhanced reflexes allowing him to dodge and counter with ease. He could feel his accelerated healing factor kicking in, mending any minor injuries sustained during the intense sparring sessions. Strength Force and Sage Force abilities. Barry moved to a section of the warehouse where he'd set up heavy weights and mental challenges. He lifted the weights effortlessly, his enhanced strength allowing him to perform feats that were previously impossible. Cisco had given him a portable device filled with complex puzzles and equations, which Barry solved rapidly, his enhanced intellect processing the information at lightning speed. Still Force and Deadpool's abilities. Finally, Barry focused on the Still Force and Deadpool's abilities. He concentrated, attempting to slow down time in a localized area. The air around him seemed to thicken, and objects moved sluggishly. Releasing his hold, he let time snap back to normal. He then tested his pain suppression by performing high-intensity exercises, pushing his body to its limits. His regenerative healing factor quickly repaired any damage, while his increased pain tolerance allowed him to push further. As Barry completed his training, a notification appeared in his system tab. Daily quest complete *. Reward *5 XP, 1 credit. Weekly quest complete *. Reward *20 XP, 5 credits. Level up *. New level *2. Experience points, XP 5/200. Health *100%. Currency *6 credits. Abilities upgraded *. Speed Force *. Enhanced speed, level 2 increased speed and agility. XP required to level up *100. Accelerated healing, level 2 faster recovery from injuries. XP required to level up *100. Enhanced perception, level 2 improved reaction time and information processing. XP required to level up *100. Speed Force knowledge, level 1 access knowledge about the Speed Force and its capabilities. XP required to level up *100. Temporal awareness, level 1 slight awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up *100. Strength Force *. Enhanced strength, level 1 gain immense physical strength beyond normal human limits. XP required to level up *75. Durability, level 1 increased resistance to physical damage. XP required to level up *75. Sage Force *. Enhanced intellect, level 1 access to vast knowledge and rapid learning capabilities. XP required to level up *100. Mental fortitude, level 1 increased resistance to mental attacks and influence. XP required to level up *100. Still Force *. Time manipulation, level 1 ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up *150. Inertia control, level 1 control over kinetic energy, allowing for manipulation of motion. XP required to level up *150. Deadpool's abilities *. Regenerative healing factor, level 1 rapidly heal from any injury, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up *200. Enhanced reflexes, level 1 superhuman reflexes and agility. XP required to level up *100. Pain suppression, level 1 reduced sensation of pain, allowing for higher pain tolerance. XP required to level up *100. Combat skills, level 1 proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up *100. Shop *. Status * locked. Requirements to unlock * level 5. Dungeon *. Status * locked. Requirements to unlock * level 10. Barry felt the surge of power as his abilities leveled up. His body and mind adapted to the enhancements, and he marveled at the new heights of his potential. He knew this was just the beginning, and there was much more to achieve. Chapter 8, Burning Building. Central City, morning. 3 weeks had passed since Barry Allen began his intense training regimen. With each passing day, he felt himself growing stronger, faster, more adept at harnessing the myriad forces and abilities now at his disposal. This morning, he was testing his newfound speed as he raced through Central City, the familiar rush of the speed force coursing through his veins. His pace had increased dramatically, nearly matching the velocity of the original Barry Allen in his prime during the first season of The Flash. Barry's comlink crackled to life as he continued his morning sprint, weaving effortlessly through the bustling city streets. "Barry, we've got an emergency," Cisco's voice came through, urgent but composed. "There's a fire in a high-rise downtown. People are trapped inside, and the fire department is struggling to reach the upper floors." Without breaking stride, Barry replied, "I'm on it, Cisco. Guide me in." "Roger that. The building is at 15th and Main. I'm sending you the schematics now," Cisco responded, his fingers dancing across the keyboards back at STAR Labs. Barry's HUD displayed a map of the building, highlighting the critical areas where people were trapped. He pushed himself harder, the world around him blurring as he accelerated. Within moments, he arrived at the scene, the acrid smell of smoke filling his nostrils. Flames licked hungrily at the structure, and the sound of sirens and panicked cries filled the air. He didn't hesitate. Barry dashed into the building, his enhanced perception and speed allowing him to navigate through the smoke and debris with ease. The first floor was relatively clear, but he could see that the real danger lay above. As Barry burst onto the 14th floor, time seemed to slow. The heat was intense, waves of it distorting the air around him. He could see every individual ember floating through the smoke-filled room, each crackle of flame stretching into a long, languid dance. He spotted a group of people huddled in a corner, their faces pale with fear. Barry's mind processed the scene at lightning speed. He could hear their rapid heartbeats, sense the rise in their body temperatures, and see the path he needed to take to get them to safety. He moved. In the slowed time, each step was a deliberate action, each motion fluid and precise. He reached the group in what felt like a heartbeat. "Stay calm," he said, his voice steady. "I'm here to get you out." Before they could fully register his presence, Barry scooped up the first two people, a young mother and her child, and sped them down the stairs to safety. He repeated this process with the rest, each trip a mere blink of an eye to the untrained observer. In his perception, though, he meticulously ensured their safety, checking for any signs of injury or distress before placing them in the care of the emergency responders outside. Barry raced back into the building, aiming for the 15th floor, where the fire was at its most intense. As he ascended, he activated his still force abilities, slowing down the flow of time even more within his immediate vicinity. The blazing inferno now appeared as a slow, roiling wave of destruction, giving him precious moments to navigate and plan his next moves. He found a group of office workers trapped in a conference room. The thick smoke had rendered them nearly unconscious, and the heat was oppressive. Barry's enhanced perception picked out each individual's condition, prioritizing the ones in the most immediate danger. In one swift motion, he picked up the nearest person, an older man struggling to breathe, and carried him out. He placed the man gently on the ground outside, then dashed back in. Over and over, he moved people to safety, each rescue a carefully choreographed maneuver executed with superhuman precision. Barry's last trip into the building was the most challenging. The fire had weakened the structure, and parts of the ceiling were beginning to collapse. He could hear the ominous groans of the steel beams struggling to hold the weight. Inside a small office on the top floor, he found a woman trapped under a fallen beam. Her pulse was faint, and her breathing labored. Barry's enhanced strength surged through him as he lifted the beam, freeing her. He cradled her gently, focusing on keeping her stable as he dashed through the crumbling building. As he neared the exit, a massive chunk of debris fell in his path. Barry tapped into his inertia control, shifting the kinetic energy of the falling debris to slow it down just enough for him to slip past safely. He emerged from the building, the woman securely in his arms. Outside, the firefighters and paramedics were ready. Barry handed the woman over to them, then took a step back, his heart pounding from the exertion but his body quickly recovering thanks to his accelerated healing. "Barry, are you okay?" Cisco's voice was laced with concern. "I'm fine, Cisco," Barry replied, catching his breath. "Everyone's out. The building's clear." Central City, the aftermath. As the firefighters continued to battle the blaze and the paramedics tended to the injured, Barry took a moment to reflect on the past 3 weeks. His system tab flashed a new notification. Level up asterisk. New level asterisk 3. Experience points, XP 150/300. Health asterisk 100%. Currency asterisk 12 credits. Abilities upgraded asterisk. Speed force asterisk. Enhanced speed, level 3 speed comparable to the original Barry Allen at the end of Season 1 of The Flash. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Accelerated healing, level 3 even faster recovery from injuries. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Enhanced perception, level 3 further improved reaction time and information processing. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Speed force knowledge, level 2 deeper understanding of the speed force and its capabilities. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Temporal awareness, level 2 increased awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Strength force asterisk. Enhanced strength, level 2 greater physical strength beyond normal human limits. XP required to level up asterisk 150. Durability, level 2 enhanced resistance to physical damage. XP required to level up asterisk 150. Sage Force asterisk. Enhanced intellect, level 2 access to even vaster knowledge and rapid learning capabilities. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Mental fortitude, level 2 stronger resistance to mental attacks and influence. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Still force asterisk. Time manipulation, level 2 greater ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up asterisk 300. Inertia control, level 2 enhanced control over kinetic energy, allowing for more precise manipulation of motion. XP required to level up asterisk 300. Deadpool's abilities asterisk. Regenerative healing factor, level 2 near instant healing from injuries, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Enhanced reflexes, level 2 superhuman reflexes and agility. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Pain suppression, level 2 further reduced sensation of pain, allowing for higher pain tolerance. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Combat skills, level 2 increased proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up asterisk 200. Barry smiled, feeling the weight of his responsibilities but also the satisfaction of his progress. He knew there was still a long way to go, but for now, he could take solace in the lives he had saved and the trust he had earned. Hey, Cisco, Barry said, switching back to the comms. Let's run a diagnostic when I get back. I want to make sure everything's in top shape. Copy that, Barry. And hey, great work out there, Cisco replied, his voice filled with admiration. Barry took a final look at the scene before him. The firefighters had the blaze under control, and the paramedics were tending to the last of the injured. He took a deep breath, feeling the cool morning air fill his lungs, and then he was off, a streak of red lightning disappearing into the distance. Chapter 9, Joe is in danger. Central City Police Department, Forensic Lab. Barry Allen was hunched over his workbench in the CCPD Forensic Lab, meticulously examining the latest batch of evidence from a recent case. His mind was focused, yet his thoughts occasionally drifted to the various abilities he'd been honing over the past 3 weeks. The speed, strength, and intellectual enhancements had made him more efficient in his work, but he still had to maintain a facade of normalcy. The door to the lab opened, and Joe West walked in, carrying a thick file. His expression was a blend of concern and urgency. Barry, I need you to take a look at this, Joe said, handing the file to him. Barry opened the file and scanned through the gruesome photos and detailed reports. This looks bad, Joe. Simon Stagg's head of security was brutally murdered last night, he said, his tone serious. Joe nodded. Yeah, and we don't have any leads. I thought maybe you could find something we missed. Your skills might help. Barry nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. I'll get on it right away. I'll need to question Stagg and see if he knows anything. Just as Barry was about to gather his things, he noticed Joe's eyes narrowing at something across the room. What's up, Joe? Barry asked, following Joe's gaze to a stack of empty pizza boxes piled on a nearby table. Joe raised an eyebrow. Barry, what's with all the pizza boxes? You throwing a party I didn't know about? Barry glanced at the boxes and gave a sheepish smile. No party. I was just really hungry. Training and all, you know, takes a lot of energy. Joe's eyebrow remained arched, skepticism clear on his face. You ate all that by yourself? Yeah, well, it's like carb loading, Barry explained, trying to sound convincing. Gotta keep up my energy levels. Joe gave Barry a long, scrutinizing look before finally nodding. All right, Barry. Just take care of yourself, okay? He turned and left the lab, leaving Barry to breathe a sigh of relief. Just as Joe exited, Iris West walked in, her expression curious. Hey, Barry, what was that about? She asked, glancing around the lab. Barry closed the file and set it aside, running a hand through his hair. Joe brought in a case about a murder involving Simon Stagg's head of security. It's pretty brutal. I need to look into it. Iris nodded, but her expression shifted to one of displeasure. She crossed her arms and looked at Barry with a not-so-pleased eye. Barry noticed her demeanor and asked, Iris, why are you mad at me? Iris sighed. You were supposed to meet me at Jitters this morning to give me the scientific background for my article. I waited for over an hour. Barry sighed deeply. I didn't show up, he said at the same time Iris spoke over him. Now I have to come up with a new article topic, or I'll fail my assignment. Barry felt a pang of guilt. Iris, I'm really sorry. I totally forgot. Iris's eyes narrowed slightly. You forgot? Barry, this isn't like you. Barry rubbed his forehead, trying to find the right words. The truth is, I've been so focused on my work and all the new responsibilities. It's been overwhelming. Iris softened a bit, though her frustration was still evident. Barry, I get that you have a lot on your plate, but you need to communicate. You can't just vanish and leave me hanging. Barry nodded. You're right. I'll do better. Can I help you now with your article? Or at least make it up to you somehow? Iris looked at him for a moment, considering. The article deadline has passed, so that's out of the question. But maybe you can make it up to me by helping me with my next piece. And please, no more disappearing acts. Barry smiled, relieved. Deal. I'll be there, I promise. And if there's anything else I can do to help right now, just let me know. Iris returned the smile, albeit faintly. All right, Barry. Just remember, we're a team. We need to be able to count on each other. Barry nodded, his resolve firm. I won't let you down, Iris. I promise. With that, Iris left the lab, and Barry turned back to the case file. He had a murder to solve and a promise to keep. Central City Police Department, Forensic Lab. Barry Allen, now alone in the forensic lab, refocused his attention on the case file Joe had handed him. He spread out the photos and reports, then turned to the DNA sample that had been collected from the crime scene. His enhanced abilities allowed him to process the data faster and more efficiently than before, but he still had to go through the standard procedures. Barry loaded the sample into the DNA sequencer and waited for the results. As the machine hummed and processed the sample, he reviewed the details of the murder. Simon Stagg's head of security had been found with multiple lacerations and blunt force trauma. The sequencer beeped, indicating that the analysis was complete. Barry pulled up the results on his computer screen and compared them to the database. Barry stood up abruptly. He quickly decided on his next move. Without wasting any time, he rushed to the window of the lab, pushed it open, and in a blur of red lightning, sprinted out. S.T.A.R Labs. In seconds, Barry arrived at STAR Labs. He didn't stop to talk to anyone, not even pausing as he grabbed his suit from the storage area. Cisco, Caitlin, and Dr. Wells, who were working nearby, looked up in surprise as Barry sped past them. Cisco quickly ran to his computer, frantically typing. Barry, what's going on? Why the rush? Barry's voice came through the comms, breathless but determined. Joe is in danger. Chapter 10, Multiplex. A few moments earlier, Stagg Industries. Joe West, Eddie Thawne, and Simon Stagg walked through a dimly lit warehouse at Stagg Industries. The air was thick with the scent of dust and old machinery, the shadows cast by the sparse lighting adding an eerie atmosphere to the vast space. Joe and Eddie had come to warn Stagg about the potential danger to his life. Mr. Stagg, we believe your life is at risk, Eddie said, his voice firm. He had his hand resting near his holster, ready for any sudden threat. Stagg scoffed, clearly unconvinced, his polished shoes clicking against the concrete floor as he walked. Nonsense. I have the best security money can buy. If you don't have anything better to say, you should leave. I'm running late for a meeting with Bruce Wayne in Gotham. Mr. Stagg, please, Joe insisted, his tone urgent. We have reason to believe. Before Joe could finish, the warehouse door burst open with a loud bang, and 3 men in masks and identical clothing burst into the warehouse, guns aimed directly at them. Their entrance was abrupt and forceful, the sound echoing through the large space. One of the masked men stepped forward and spoke up, his voice dripping with menace. You wanted them found, Mr. Stagg? Here we are. The men started firing without hesitation. Joe and Eddie, trained and experienced, reacted instantly. They quickly pulled Stagg behind a stack of crates for cover and returned fire, the sharp cracks of gunfire ringing in their ears. The gunfight was intense but brief. Joe and Eddie's combined efforts managed to take down 2 of the gunmen with precise shots. The masked men fell to the ground, their weapons clattering against the concrete. The remaining gunman, however, was different. He didn't flinch or retreat. Instead, he calmly pulled off his mask, revealing his face. It was Danton Black, a man both Joe and Eddie recognized from the police files. Danton Black, Stagg gasped, his face pale with shock. I thought you were dead. Danton sneered, his eyes filled with a cold, calculating hatred. Not dead, Stagg. Just waiting for my chance to make you pay. Stagg's eyes widened with fear and recognition. He remembered Danton all too well. Danton had been one of his most brilliant researchers, working on groundbreaking projects. But when Danton had demanded credit and compensation for his work, Stagg had fired him and stolen his research. Danton had sworn revenge, but Stagg had never taken his threat seriously until now. Joe kept his gun trained on Danton, his mind racing. Danton, don't do this. You don't have to go down this path. Danton's sneer grew more pronounced. It's too late for that, detective. Stagg ruined my life. Now I'm going to ruin his. Before Joe or Eddie could react, Danton's body began to shimmer and split, forming multiple copies of himself, an army of Danton Blacks. The clones moved in unison, their expressions identical, their intentions clear. Joe and Eddie exchanged a brief, grim look. They knew they were outnumbered and outmatched. They took defensive positions, ready to protect Stagg at all costs. As the clones advanced, the air filled with the sound of their synchronized steps. The situation seemed dire, but Joe and Eddie stood their ground, determined to fight back against the overwhelming odds. S.T.A.R Labs. In seconds, Barry arrived at STAR Labs. He didn't stop to talk to anyone, not even pausing as he grabbed his suit from the storage area. Cisco, Caitlin, and Dr. Wells, who were working nearby, looked up in surprise as Barry sped past them. Cisco quickly ran to his computer, frantically typing. Barry, what's going on? Why the rush? Barry's voice came through the comms, breathless but determined. Joe is in danger. Stagg Industries, present. Joe and Eddie were taking cover behind the crates, firing at the advancing clones of Danton Black. The clones were relentless, moving forward despite the bullets. Joe's and Eddie's pistols were running low on ammo, and the situation was becoming increasingly desperate. We can't hold them off much longer, Eddie shouted over the gunfire. Just keep firing, Joe replied, his tone resolute. We have to protect Stagg. Stagg, crouched behind the crates, was trembling with fear. He had never imagined that his actions would lead to such a deadly confrontation. The sound of gunfire and the sight of the clones advancing filled him with dread. Suddenly, a blur of red lightning streaked into the warehouse. It was Barry, now fully suited as the Flash. He moved with incredible speed, disarming the clones and knocking them out one by one. Within seconds, the immediate threat was neutralized. Barry's speed and agility were unmatched. He created a vortex with his arms, using the wind pressure to push back the clones. The clones were thrown off balance, stumbling backward as Barry moved in for the attack. He delivered rapid punches, each blow landing with precision and force, incapacitating clone after clone. Danton Black watched in shock as his duplicates fell to the ground, unable to match the Flash's speed. He growled in frustration, his anger boiling over. "You think you can stop me, Flash? You can't stop all of us." Barry didn't waste words. He focused on the task at hand, moving faster than the eye could see. He darted between the clones, using his speed to create confusion and disarray among them. One by one, the clones fell, until only the original Danton Black remained. Danton, realizing he was outmatched, tried to create more clones, but Barry was too quick. He used his speed to generate a powerful shockwave, disrupting Danton's cloning ability. The force of the shockwave sent Danton crashing into a stack of crates, leaving him dazed and vulnerable. Barry stood over Danton, his expression stern. "It's over, Danton." Danton struggled to his feet, his eyes filled with defiance. "This isn't over, Flash. Stag will pay for what he did to me." Barry shook his head, his voice calm but firm. "Not like this." With that, Barry swiftly moved to restrain Danton, using specially designed cuffs that Cisco had made for metahumans. Danton struggled but couldn't break free. Barry gave a final nod to Joe and Eddie, acknowledging their efforts, before taking Danton in a blur of red lightning. Chapter 11, Future Alliance. S.T.A.R Labs, main area. Barry zoomed into the main area of STAR Labs, his yellow lightning dissipating as he came to a stop. Cisco, Caitlin, and Dr. Wells were already there, waiting for him. Cisco was the first to react, rushing over to Barry with an excited grin. "Dude, that was awesome. You were like, zoom, and they were like, ack." He mimicked Barry's movements and the reactions of the clones, making exaggerated gestures and sound effects. Barry couldn't help but chuckle at Cisco's enthusiasm, a wave of relief washing over him. "Thanks, Cisco. It was pretty intense." Caitlin stepped forward, her expression a mix of concern and relief. She gently touched Barry's arm, her eyes searching his face for any signs of injury. "Are you okay, Barry? We were monitoring everything from here. It looked dangerous." Barry nodded, his face serious but his eyes softened by Caitlin's concern. "I'm fine. Joe and Eddie are fine too, thanks to you guys and the suit. Danton Black is in the pipeline now. He won't be a threat anymore." Dr. Wells, who had been observing silently, finally spoke up, his voice filled with a rare warmth. "Good work, Barry. Your speed and quick thinking saved lives today." Barry appreciated the praise but remained humble, his expression one of quiet gratitude. "It was a team effort. I couldn't have done it without all of you." Cisco's eyes lit up with an idea, his usual playful energy returning. "Hey, speaking of team effort, we should come up with a code name for Danton. How about Multiplex? You know, because he multiplies." Barry smiled, the tension in his shoulders easing. "I like it. Multiplex it is." Caitlin nodded in agreement, her relief evident in her gentle smile. "It fits. And now we know how to handle him if he ever gets out." Dr. Wells gave a small nod of approval, his eyes reflecting pride and trust in Barry. "Good. Now, Barry, take a moment to rest. You've earned it." Barry looked around at his friends and teammates, his heart swelling with gratitude and affection. "Thanks, guys. I couldn't do any of this without you." As Barry took a seat, Cisco couldn't resist one last joke, his eyes twinkling with mischief. "So, Barry, how does it feel to be the fastest pizza delivery guy in Central City?" Barry laughed, shaking his head, the weight of the day's events lifting. "It's all about the carb loading, Cisco. Gotta keep my energy up." The team shared a light-hearted moment, the bond between them stronger than ever. They knew that as long as they stuck together, they could face any challenge that came their way. The air was filled with a sense of camaraderie and hope, a stark contrast to the earlier tension. Barry felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing he wasn't alone in this fight. Gotham City. The sky over Gotham City was a perpetual shade of gray, the sun rarely breaking through the thick, oppressive clouds that seemed to shroud the city in darkness. The towering skyscrapers loomed like silent sentinels, their Gothic architecture casting long, eerie shadows over the narrow, winding streets below. The air was thick with the smell of rain and smoke, a constant reminder of the city's industrial heart. Neon signs flickered in the gloom, advertising everything from seedy bars to high-end boutiques, their garish lights reflecting off the slick, rain-soaked pavement. The Batcave. Deep beneath Wayne Manor, the Batcave hummed with activity. Bats fluttered in the dimly lit cavern, their wings creating a soft, almost soothing rustle. The cave was a vast expanse, filled with the latest in high-end technology and state-of-the-art equipment. Gigantic computer screens lined the walls, each displaying various feeds of surveillance footage, police reports, and news broadcasts. The centerpiece of the cave was the Batcomputer, a monolithic structure covered in blinking lights and holographic displays. Sitting at the helm of this technological marvel was Bruce Wayne, his imposing figure cloaked in shadow. He was the very embodiment of vigilance and determination. His chiseled features, reminiscent of Ben Affleck, were set in a grim expression of focus and resolve. The large screen before him displayed footage of the red blur in action, a streak of red and yellow saving people from a burning building. The video played in a loop, capturing the speedster's heroics from multiple angles. Another feed showed Barry Allen exiting the CCPD, his expression tired yet resolute, unaware of the watchful eyes observing him from afar. Bruce leaned back in his chair, his fingers steepled as he pondered the images. He had been following Barry's exploits for some time, recognizing the potential and power the young man possessed. The red blur's actions had not gone unnoticed, and Bruce saw in him a kindred spirit, someone driven by a desire to protect and serve, no matter the personal cost. Bruce's mind raced with possibilities. He knew that to tackle the mounting threats, Gotham needed allies beyond its borders. Seeing Barry in action, witnessing his bravery and selflessness, solidified Bruce's belief that there were others out there who shared his mission, even if they didn't yet realize it. With a deep, thoughtful breath, Bruce pressed a button on the console, opening a secure communication line. Alfred, I need all available information on Barry Allen and his activities as the Red Blur. It's time we reached out to him. The voice of Alfred Pennyworth, ever calm and composed, came through the speakers. Right away, Master Wayne. Shall I prepare the Batwing for a visit to Central City? Bruce's lips curved into a slight, determined smile. No, Alfred, not yet. We need more information first. Let's keep an eye on him for now. Alfred's voice remained steady, a hint of curiosity underlying his words. Understood, sir. I'll begin compiling the data immediately. As the Batcave's systems whirred quietly, Bruce rose from his seat, his footsteps echoing through the cavern. He walked over to a vast array of gadgets and weaponry, his eyes briefly lingering on each item as if considering their potential uses. The shadows seemed to cling to him, a silent testament to the burden he carried and the darkness he continually fought against. His gaze shifted back to the Batcomputer's screen, where Barry Allen's image was frozen in a moment of action. Bruce admired the young man's spirit and resilience, qualities that resonated deeply with him. Despite the differences in their methods and backgrounds, Bruce felt a sense of kinship with Barry. They both sought justice, driven by personal loss and an unyielding desire to make their cities safer. Bruce knew that forging an alliance with Barry would be crucial in the battles to come. Trust would be essential, and trust was not something Bruce gave lightly. He would continue to watch, to learn, and when the time was right, he would extend a hand to the Red Blur, knowing that together, they could accomplish far more than they ever could alone. As Bruce Wayne disappeared into the shadows of the Batcave, the echoes of his steps faded, leaving only the soft hum of the Batcomputer and the distant rustle of bats. In the dim light of the cavern, plans were forming, alliances were being considered, and the future of Gotham and perhaps the world was being shaped by the decisions made in that silent, secretive place. Chapter 12, Future Events. S.T.A.R. Labs, main area. Barry sat among his friends and teammates at STAR Labs, a sense of accomplishment and camaraderie filling the room. The events of recent weeks had shown just how far he had come, not just in mastering his speed but in becoming a more confident and effective hero. Cisco, ever the observant and excitable tech genius, couldn't contain his enthusiasm. Barry, dude, seriously, have you noticed how much faster and more precise you've become? I mean, you were always fast, but now it's like you're on a whole new level. Barry grinned, appreciating Cisco's recognition. Thanks, Cisco. It's all about the teamwork and preparation. Caitlin nodded, her admiration clear in her voice. Your control over your speed has improved drastically. The way you handled Multiplex today was impressive. You kept your cool even when he multiplied into a dozen clones. Dr. Wells, typically more reserved in his praise, nodded thoughtfully. Indeed, Barry. Your strategic thinking and adaptability have grown considerably. It's clear you're not just relying on speed anymore. Barry reflected on their words, acknowledging their efforts as a team. It's been a collective effort. We're making a difference out there, and that's what matters. Cisco leaned back, a mischievous glint in his eye. And let's not forget your moves. Those were some next-level maneuvers today. Barry chuckled, remembering the intense situation they had faced. Yeah, it was challenging, but we handled it together. The conversation paused momentarily, each of them reflecting on the challenges they had faced and overcome together. Barry's thoughts turned to the recent encounter with Multiplex and how they had managed to apprehend him without casualties, thanks to their coordinated efforts. Dr. Wells broke the silence, his tone serious yet encouraging. Barry, as your abilities continue to evolve, so do the threats you face. It's important to stay vigilant and keep pushing your limits. Barry nodded in agreement, his expression turning determined. I know, Dr. Wells. We're committed to protecting Central City, no matter what. Cisco chimed in eagerly, always one to inject a lighter note into serious discussions. And don't forget, we're always here to fine-tune those new moves of yours. Maybe a few more lightning tornadoes next time. Barry smiled, feeling a sense of purpose in their shared mission. I'll keep that in mind, Cisco. Their banter continued, a blend of professional admiration and teamwork that had grown stronger with each challenge they faced. They knew the dangers ahead were formidable, but with their unified efforts and dedication, they were confident they could face whatever came their way. As they discussed plans for future strategies and prepared for the next threat, Barry couldn't help but appreciate the team at STAR Labs. They weren't just colleagues, they were his trusted allies, working together to safeguard their city from those who would misuse their powers. Barry glanced subtly at Dr. Wells as he excused himself with a nod, claiming he needed to check on some data in the lab. His mind was clear about Wells' true identity: Eobard Thawne, the man who had murdered his mother and infiltrated their lives under false pretenses. Patience, Barry reminded himself quietly, knowing that confronting Thawne prematurely could jeopardize their delicate balance. He watched Thawne walk briskly down the corridors of STAR Labs, a facade of normalcy masking the deeper currents of deception and danger that swirled around them. Inside the time vault, illuminated by the soft glow of monitors and holographic displays, Eobard Thawne's demeanor shifted. The guise of Harrison Wells melted away, revealing the calculating mind of a man whose ambitions transcended mere scientific discovery. Barry's resolve hardened as he pondered his next move. He couldn't afford to act rashly, not when the stakes were so high. For now, he would bide his time, gathering allies and intelligence, preparing for the inevitable clash that would determine the fate of Central City and beyond. S.T.A.R Labs, Time Vault. Inside the Time Vault, Eobard Thawne shed the guise of Harrison Wells. Surrounded by the soft glow of monitors and holographic displays, he revealed the calculating mind of a man whose ambitions transcended mere scientific discovery. His fingers danced over the console as he summoned his AI assistant, Gideon. Gideon, show me the future news, Thawne commanded, his voice tinged with urgency. Of course, Dr. Thawne, Gideon responded, her voice smooth and efficient. The holographic display shifted, revealing a series of headlines from the future. The first headline read, Flash finally defeats Cicada. A video clip accompanied it, showing Barry in his full speedster glory, outmaneuvering Cicada with remarkable precision and speed. Thawne's eyes narrowed. Barry was getting faster, more skilled, far quicker than Thawne had anticipated. The next headline caught his eye, Flash teams up with Superman to defeat Zod. The clip showed Barry running alongside Henry Cavill, Superman, their combined powers overwhelming the Kryptonian general. Thawne's concern deepened. Barry's abilities were growing exponentially, and his alliances were becoming more formidable. Thawne clenched his fists, his mind racing with the implications. If Barry continued to develop at this rate, Thawne's plans to return to his own time might be thwarted. He needed to find a way to slow Barry down or, better yet, eliminate him before he became an insurmountable obstacle. Gideon, show me more, Thawne demanded, his voice cold. Another headline appeared, Defenders of Earth defeat Steppenwolf. The accompanying image showed the Justice League standing victorious. This version of the League included Barry Allen, Shazam, Martian Manhunter, and even Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern, and the other League members from the movies. The team stood united, their collective strength a testament to their victory. Thawne stared at the image, his eyes scanning the faces of Earth's defenders. Barry was at the center, his presence commanding and confident. Thawne knew that this alliance posed a significant threat to his plans. The more powerful and united Barry's allies became, the harder it would be for Thawne to execute his own agenda. As he contemplated his next move, Thawne's thoughts turned to the team at STAR Labs. Barry trusted them implicitly, which made them both a strength and a potential weakness. Thawne needed to exploit this trust, to sow discord and doubt within their ranks. If he could destabilize their unity, he might have a chance to strike. But for now, he would bide his time, just as Barry was doing. Patience was a game they were both playing, each waiting for the right moment to act. Thawne's mind churned with plans and contingencies, his resolve steeled by the knowledge that the future he desired was slipping further from his grasp with each passing day. Gideon, keep monitoring the future news. Alert me to any significant changes, Thawne ordered, his voice a mix of determination and cold calculation. Understood, Dr. Thawne, Gideon replied. As Thawne turned away from the monitors, his thoughts remained fixated on Barry Allen. The young speedster was evolving faster than he had ever imagined. Thawne knew that to secure his own future, he would need to outthink, outmaneuver, and ultimately, outpace the Flash. The game was far from over, and Thawne was prepared to do whatever it took to win. Chapter 13, New Quest. Barry's apartment, late evening. Current stats *. Level *3. Experience points, XP 200/300. Health *100%. Currency *12 credits. Abilities *. Speed Force *. Enhanced speed, level 3 speed comparable to the original Barry Allen in Season 1 of The Flash. XP required to level up *200. Accelerated healing, level 3 even faster recovery from injuries. XP required to level up *200. Enhanced perception, level 3 further improved reaction time and information processing. XP required to level up *200. Speed Force knowledge, level 2 deeper understanding of the Speed Force and its capabilities. XP required to level up *200. Temporal awareness, level 2 increased awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up *200. Strength Force *. Enhanced strength, level 2 greater physical strength beyond normal human limits. XP required to level up *150. Durability, level 2 enhanced resistance to physical damage. XP required to level up *150. Sage Force *. Enhanced intellect, level 2 access to even vaster knowledge and rapid learning capabilities. XP required to level up *200. Mental fortitude, level 2 stronger resistance to mental attacks and influence. XP required to level up *200. Still Force *. Time manipulation, level 2 greater ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up *300. Inertia control, level 2 enhanced control over kinetic energy, allowing for more precise manipulation of motion. XP required to level up *300. Deadpool's abilities *. Regenerative healing factor, level 2 near instant healing from injuries, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up *400. Enhanced reflexes, level 2 superhuman reflexes and agility. XP required to level up *200. Pain suppression, level 2 further reduced sensation of pain, allowing for higher pain tolerance. XP required to level up *200. Combat skills, level 2 increased proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up *200. Shop *. Status *locked. Requirements to unlock level 5. Dungeon status locked. Requirements to unlock level 10. Barry studied his stats, contemplating ways to increase his XP and level up faster. He knew that becoming more powerful was crucial in facing the escalating threats to Central City and beyond. His focus was intense, as he considered new training regimens and combat strategies to push his limits further. Suddenly, a notification popped up on his screen, startling him out of his thoughts. It was a quest alert. New quest, Defend Earth. Objective *. Team up with Superman to stop General Zod from invading Earth. This mission involves high-level combat, strategic planning, and utilizing the full range of your abilities alongside Superman's strength and powers. Quest details *. Threat origin *. General Zod, a Kryptonian warlord, is planning to invade Earth with a formidable army. Zod's goal is to conquer the planet and transform it into a new Krypton. Allies * Superman. Neutralize Zod * work with Superman to defeat Zod and prevent the activation of any world-altering devices he might deploy. Time limit * 1 month to prepare, mobilize, and successfully repel the invasion. Reward *. Experience points, XP 2000. Currency * 200 credits. Special ability unlock, Kryptonian adaptation. Item * Phantom Zone projector. Reward explanation * 2000 XP *. Successfully completing this quest will provide Barry with a substantial boost in experience points, propelling him closer to higher levels and unlocking further potential upgrades for his abilities. 200 credits *. These credits can be used in the soon-to-be-unlocked shop, allowing Barry to purchase items, upgrades, or new abilities that will aid him in future missions and battles. Special ability unlock, Kryptonian adaptation *. Description *. This ability grants Barry temporary enhancements that mimic some aspects of Kryptonian physiology when in proximity to a Kryptonian, such as Superman. Advantages *. Enhanced strength * Significant increase in physical strength, allowing Barry to handle heavier objects and deliver more powerful attacks. Durability * Increased resistance to physical damage, making Barry more resilient in combat. Enhanced senses * Improved senses, such as vision and hearing, for better situational awareness and detection of hidden threats. Energy absorption * Ability to absorb and temporarily store solar energy, enhancing speed and power during battles. Item, Phantom Zone projector *. Description * A device capable of banishing targets to the Phantom Zone, an alternate dimension used as a prison for Kryptonian criminals. Advantages *. Containment * Effective means of neutralizing powerful foes without killing them. Versatility * Can be used strategically to remove threats from the battlefield or secure dangerous entities. Barry understood the gravity of the quest ahead. The coming month would be a test of his abilities, his leadership, and his resolve. With the rewards of increased power, valuable credits, and the ability to adapt some of Superman's strengths, Barry felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. The Phantom Zone projector added an extra layer of security for the mission. The fate of Earth depended on their success, and he was ready to rise to the challenge alongside Superman. Cisco was stationed at Star Labs, closely monitoring Barry's astounding progress from the very first day they detected his speed capabilities on his computer. Each passing day filled him with awe as he witnessed Barry's abilities develop at an unprecedented rate. The growth was exponential, far exceeding any expectations Cisco had initially entertained. From analyzing data to conducting experiments, Cisco dedicated himself to understanding the intricacies of Barry's speed. The rapid advancement in Barry's powers left Cisco pondering the limitless potential lying ahead. He couldn't help but speculate on just how fast Barry might become in the future, considering the speed at which he was currently progressing. Chapter 14, Level 5. Joe West sat at his kitchen table, sipping his coffee while reading the morning paper. It had become a rare moment of quiet in his otherwise hectic life. Suddenly, Iris walked in, her face a mask of concern. "Dad, can we talk?" Iris asked, her tone serious. Joe put down his paper and gestured for her to sit. "Of course, honey. What's on your mind?" "It's Barry. He's been acting so strange lately," Iris began. "Ever since he woke up from the coma, he's been forgetting things, and he's become distant. I feel like he's hiding something." Joe sighed, leaning back in his chair. He had noticed Barry's increased focus and determination, but he hadn't seen anything alarming. "Iris, Barry's been through a lot waking up from a coma, discovering he has these new changes around him. It's a lot to process. But it's more than that, Dad, Iris insisted. He's not just distracted or preoccupied. It's like he's a different person sometimes. I know he's tired and stressed, but it feels like he's keeping something from us. Joe shook his head gently. I don't know, Iris. Maybe he's just trying to figure things out on his own. You know Barry, he's always been the type to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. Iris frowned, unsatisfied with the explanation. I just wish he would talk to me. We used to be so close, and now I feel like I'm losing him. Joe reached across the table, taking her hand in his. Give him some time. Barry's been through a lot of changes, and he's trying to find his way. Just be there for him when he's ready to open up. Iris nodded, though her worry remained evident. Okay, Dad. I'll try. But I hope he knows he doesn't have to go through this alone. As they finished their conversation, the sound of a beeping computer echoed from Joe's office. He got up to check it, leaving Iris deep in thought. In the back of his mind, Joe couldn't shake a lingering suspicion that something bigger was at play, something Barry wasn't ready to share. 3 weeks later. The last 3 weeks had been a whirlwind for Barry Allen. Balancing his double life as Central City's beloved CSI and its new mysterious hero, the Streak, was no small feat yet. He had managed to do just that, often with remarkable finesse. The city was buzzing with talk of the Streak, the elusive figure who appeared out of nowhere, saved lives, and vanished just as quickly. The nickname had gained traction in the media, and Barry couldn't help but smile every time he heard it. Every day was a test of his abilities and resolve. At CCPD, Barry maintained his usual workload, analyzing crime scenes with a meticulousness that belied his superhuman abilities. His colleagues noticed his newfound energy and efficiency but chalked it up to his passion for his work. They had no idea that when Barry finished his shifts, he was donning the red suit and racing through the city at lightning speeds. During these weeks, Barry's training sessions at Star Labs had become more intense. Cisco Ramon and Caitlin Snow, his steadfast allies, worked tirelessly to push Barry's limits, ensuring he was prepared for whatever threats might arise. Harrison Wells, the enigmatic founder of Star Labs, continued to observe Barry's progress with a mix of pride and hidden motives. Barry's first week after the conversation with Joe and Iris was a period of adjustment. The city seemed to be testing its new hero constantly. Fires broke out, bank robberies were foiled, and Barry even stopped a runaway bus from crashing into a crowded street. His abilities were being honed with each challenge. In the lab, Cisco marveled at the data pouring in. Barry's speed was increasing at a remarkable rate. The treadmill readings showed speeds that defied even Cisco's wildest predictions. Caitlin, on the other hand, focused on Barry's health. His accelerated healing was extraordinary, allowing him to recover from minor injuries within minutes. One evening, Barry returned home after a particularly grueling day. He had apprehended a group of armed robbers who had taken hostages in a downtown bank. The situation had been delicate, but Barry's enhanced perception and speed allowed him to neutralize the threat without a single casualty. Another day saved by the Streak, he muttered to himself as he collapsed onto his bed. His phone buzzed with a message from Iris, asking if he was okay. He replied quickly, reassuring her that everything was fine. The truth was, he missed the simplicity of his life before the lightning strike, but he couldn't deny the thrill that came with being a hero. As the second week began, Barry found himself facing new challenges. Metahuman activity in Central City was on the rise. Cisco's computer beeped constantly with alerts about new incidents. One particular meta, Kyle Nimbus, also known as the Mist, had resurfaced. Nimbus had the ability to transform into a toxic gas, making him a formidable foe. Barry knew this would be a tough battle. Nimbus had evaded capture once before, and his gaseous form made him nearly invincible. Cisco and Caitlin worked on a containment strategy, devising a plan to trap Nimbus in a vacuum-sealed container. The encounter with Nimbus was tense. Barry tracked him down to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. As he entered, the air grew thick and toxic. Nimbus materialized in front of him, smirking. "You think you can stop me, Flash?" Nimbus taunted. Barry didn't respond. Instead, he moved at lightning speed, using his enhanced perception to anticipate Nimbus's movements. The battle was intense, but Barry's agility and quick thinking eventually led to Nimbus being trapped in the containment device Cisco had provided. Back at Star Labs, Cisco and Caitlin celebrated the victory. Barry was exhausted but exhilarated. Each victory brought him closer to understanding his true potential. Harrison Wells, watching from the shadows, made a note of Barry's progress. The young speedster was proving to be everything he had hoped for and more. During these 3 weeks, Barry has also been secretly training in his warehouse, which was at the outskirts of the city. Week 1, refining speed and perception. On the first day, Barry focused on his enhanced speed. He sprinted around the track, pushing himself to run faster and faster. His goal was to match, and eventually surpass, the speed of the original Barry Allen in Season 1 of The Flash. Each lap saw him shave milliseconds off his time, and his muscles burned with the effort. After an hour of intense running, Barry shifted his focus to enhanced perception. He set up a series of holographic drones programmed to move unpredictably. The drones fired harmless energy beams that Barry had to dodge while maintaining his speed. This exercise sharpened his reaction time and information processing, allowing him to anticipate and evade threats with greater efficiency. Barry's routine also included exercises to enhance his temporal awareness. He practiced detecting subtle fluctuations in time, a skill that was vital for anticipating future events and navigating the complexities of time travel. This ability, though still developing, provided Barry with an edge in critical situations, allowing him to sense and respond to temporal anomalies. Week 2, Building Strength and Durability. The second week of training was dedicated to enhancing Barry's physical strength and durability, tapping into the strength force. The warehouse was equipped with various weightlifting and resistance training machines that could be adjusted to far exceed normal human limits. Barry began with enhanced strength exercises. He lifted weights that would be impossible for any ordinary human, pushing his muscles to their limits. The advanced equipment allowed him to train safely, even as the weights grew heavier. Barry's strength increased steadily, enabling him to handle greater physical challenges during his missions. To build his durability, Barry underwent a series of controlled impact tests. The warehouse's automated systems launched projectiles of varying sizes and speeds at him, simulating the types of physical damage he might encounter in the field. Each session left Barry bruised and battered, but his accelerated healing ensured that he recovered quickly, ready for the next challenge. Barry also incorporated combat training into his regimen, using his enhanced strength and durability to improve his hand-to-hand combat skills. He sparred with holographic opponents, each programmed with different fighting styles and tactics. This training enhanced his reflexes and combat proficiency, preparing him for any adversary he might face. Week 3, Mastering the Sage and Still Forces. The third week was perhaps the most mentally demanding. Barry turned his attention to the Sage Force and Still Force, two abilities that required immense concentration and mental fortitude. For enhanced intellect, Barry engaged in complex puzzles and mental exercises designed by Cisco and Caitlin. These tasks ranged from solving intricate mathematical equations to strategizing simulated battles. The mental workouts expanded Barry's knowledge and learning capabilities, allowing him to think and react faster in high-pressure situations. Mental fortitude training involved resisting various forms of mental attacks. Barry practiced with simulations that mimicked the effects of psychic assaults, strengthening his resistance to mind control and influence. This training was crucial for maintaining his focus and clarity during confrontations with enemies possessing mental powers. The Still Force training was perhaps the most challenging. Barry practiced time manipulation by attempting to slow down or temporarily stop time in localized areas within the warehouse. This ability required immense concentration and precise control. Barry focused on small objects at first, such as stopping a falling pencil or slowing the movement of a swinging pendulum. As his skill improved, he attempted larger and more complex targets, increasing his mastery over kinetic energy and motion. The night of the big breakthrough. 3 weeks had passed, and Barry had made incredible progress. His abilities had grown exponentially, and he had become a more effective and formidable hero. One quiet evening, as Barry patrolled the city, his communicator buzzed with an urgent message from Cisco. "Barry, we've got a situation. Multiple reports of a disturbance downtown. It looks like another metahuman. Be careful." Barry's heart raced as he sped towards the location. As he arrived, he saw chaos. Cars were overturned, and people were fleeing in terror. In the center of it all was a man with glowing hands, hurling energy blasts at everything in sight. "Hey," Barry called out, trying to draw the metahuman's attention away from the civilians. "Let's talk about this." The man turned, his eyes blazing with fury. "You're the Streak. I've been waiting for a chance to take you down." Barry moved with incredible speed, dodging the energy blasts and closing the distance between them. His enhanced perception allowed him to see the trajectory of each blast, giving him the edge he needed to avoid them. As he reached the metahuman, Barry delivered a powerful punch, utilizing his enhanced strength. The impact sent the metahuman sprawling, but he quickly recovered, launching another barrage of energy blasts. Barry activated his temporal awareness, sensing a slight shift in the timeline. He dodged just in time, the blasts missing him by mere inches. The battle was intense, but Barry's training paid off. He used his enhanced speed to move faster than the metahuman could react, landing blow after blow. His durability allowed him to withstand the few hits he couldn't avoid, and his accelerated healing quickly mended any injuries. Finally, Barry saw an opening. He concentrated, tapping into the Still Force. Time seemed to slow around him as he moved towards the metahuman. With precise control, Barry manipulated the kinetic energy, freezing the metahuman in place. "Got you," Barry muttered, panting from the effort. He quickly subdued the metahuman, ensuring he couldn't cause any more harm. As Barry caught his breath, his communicator buzzed again. "Barry, that was incredible." Cisco's voice was filled with excitement. While Cisco was busy talking over the comm, Barry was busy looking at another thing. Current stats *. Level *5. Experience points, XP 0/600. Health *100%. Currency *100 credits. Abilities *. Speed Force *. Enhanced speed, level 5 speed comparable to Barry Allen in Season 3 of The Flash. XP required to level up *400. Accelerated healing, level 5 near instant recovery from injuries. XP required to level up *400. Enhanced perception, level 5 superhuman reaction time and information processing. XP required to level up *400. Speed Force knowledge, level 5 comprehensive understanding of the Speed Force and its capabilities. XP required to level up *400. Temporal awareness, level 5 advanced awareness of time fluctuations and potential future events. XP required to level up *400. Strength Force *. Enhanced Strength. Level 5 Superhuman Physical Strength beyond most metahumans. XP required to level up *300. Durability. Level 5 Extraordinary Resistance to Physical Damage and Environmental Extremes. XP required to level up *300. Force Projection. New ability to create powerful force fields and energy blasts. XP required to level up *500. Sage Force *. Enhanced Intellect. Level 5 Genius Level Intellect and Rapid Learning Capabilities. XP required to level up *400. Mental Fortitude. Level 5 Exceptional Resistance to Mental Attacks and Influence. XP required to level up *400. Telepathy. New ability to read minds and communicate mentally with others. XP required to level up *500. Still Force *. Time Manipulation. Level 5 Advanced ability to slow down or temporarily stop time in a localized area. XP required to level up *600. Inertia Control. Level 5 Superior Control over kinetic energy, allowing for precise manipulation of motion. XP required to level up *600. Time Travel. New ability to travel through time with greater precision and control. Since you are a speedster, it will be more easier now to travel through time with this ability. XP required to level up *700. Deadpool's abilities *. Regenerative Healing Factor. Level 5 Near instant healing from injuries, effectively granting near immortality. XP required to level up *500. Enhanced Reflexes. Level 5 Superhuman Reflexes and Agility. XP required to level up *400. Pain Suppression. Level 5 Nearly complete suppression of pain, allowing for extremely high pain tolerance. XP required to level up *400. Combat Skills. Level 5 Master Level Proficiency in hand-to-hand combat and weapons use. XP required to level up *400. Barry couldn't help but smile. He had finally reached level 5, unlocking the shop and gaining access to new resources and abilities. The journey had been arduous, but every challenge had made him stronger. Chapter 15, System Shop. Barry arrived back at his apartment, exhausted but exhilarated from the day's events. The confrontation with the metahuman had been intense, yet it had also been a testament to how far he had come since gaining his powers. Dropping his keys on the kitchen counter, he flopped down onto his couch, ready to take a moment to unwind. But his mind was buzzing with anticipation. He had reached level 5, unlocking the system shop and the inventory. With a deep breath, he accessed the system interface, eager to explore the new possibilities. System Notification *. Congratulations on reaching level 5. You have unlocked the system shop and inventory. Currency, 100 credits. System shop inventory *. Strength Force Enhancements *. Earthquake Punch, 50 credits create shockwaves with powerful punches. Enhanced Armor, 80 credits armor that enhances durability and strength. Herculean Leap, 90 credits perform extraordinary jumps, covering vast distances. Gravity Manipulation, 110 credits control gravity to a limited extent, increasing versatility in combat. Sage Force Enhancements *. Mind Shield, 50 credits mental barrier against psychic attacks. Knowledge Transfer, 100 credits instant learning of new skills and knowledge. Telekinesis, 150 credits manipulate objects with the mind. Precognition, 200 credits ability to foresee potential future events with greater accuracy. Still Force Enhancements *. Temporal Freeze, 60 credits temporarily freeze time in a localized area. Kinetic Absorption, 90 credits absorb kinetic energy to boost strength temporarily. Time Rewind, 200 credits briefly reverse time within a limited area. Dimensional Rift, 250 credits open portals to other dimensions for travel or escape. Deadpool's Enhancements *. Dual Katanas, 60 credits enhanced weapons for close combat. Holo Projector, 80 credits create holographic decoys. Nano Healing Drones, 100 credits deploy drones that provide instant healing in combat. Adaptive Camouflage, 120 credits become nearly invisible by blending with surroundings. Marvel Universe Items *. Mjolnir, Thor's Hammer, 500 credits grants the power of Thor, usable only if deemed worthy. Arc Reactor, Iron Man, 300 credits portable energy source, enhances suits and technology. Captain America's Shield, 200 credits indestructible shield with ricochet properties. Pym Particles, 150 credits enable size manipulation, shrinking or growing at will. DC Universe Items *. Green Lantern Ring, 400 credits power ring that allows the creation of energy constructs. Mother Box, 300 credits advanced technology capable of teleportation and data manipulation. Batarang Arsenal, 100 credits a complete set of Batman's batarangs with various utilities. Kryptonite Gauntlet, 150 credits gauntlet infused with kryptonite, effective against Kryptonians. Special Items *. Healing Elixir, 20 credits instantly restores health. Energy Boost, 30 credits temporarily enhances speed and strength. Dimensional Communicator, 50 credits allows communication with entities in other dimensions. Mysterious Box, 100 credits contains a random powerful item or ability. Otherworld Items *. Elder Wand, Harry Potter, 300 credits most powerful wand, capable of extraordinary magic. Dragon Balls, Dragon Ball, 700 credits collect all 7 to summon Shenron for a wish. Infinity Gauntlet, 500 credits grants immense power, controllable only with the Infinity Stones. Barry scanned the extensive list, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. The possibilities were vast, each item and ability promising new strengths and capabilities. He decided to save his credits for now, wanting to carefully consider his options. Next, Barry opened the newly unlocked inventory. Alongside the familiar gadgets and equipment he had collected, one item stood out, a letter. It was sealed with an ornate, unfamiliar emblem. With a sense of curiosity and unease, Barry broke the seal and unfolded the letter. The message inside was written in elegant, flowing script. Dear Barry, if you are reading this letter, it means you have reached level 5. You must be wondering why you act like the actual Barry and not yourself. The truth is, you are Barry Allen. You are reincarnated, not transmigrated as you initially thought. Your memories of your past life have been suppressed to allow you to adapt to this reality. If you wish to recover your full memories from your encounter with me to your childhood and up to when you were struck by lightning, press yes on the next notification. This will reveal the full scope of your existence and your mission. Understand that this world is different from the series you might recall. Choosing to recover your full memories will explain why. As my reward for being my herald, I grant you the following asterisk. At that moment, a system notification appeared. Do you wish to recover your full memories? Yes, no. Barry's heart pounded in his chest. This was the moment of truth, the chance to understand everything. With a deep breath, he pressed yes. System notification asterisk. Memory restoration initiated. A flood of images and sensations overwhelmed Barry. He saw his childhood, his encounters with the mysterious entity, and every moment leading up to the lightning strike. It all came rushing back, filling in the gaps in his memory. Congratulations! You have unlocked the following rewards asterisk asterisk. 1 Philosopher's Stone asterisk grants immense alchemical power, including the ability to transmute matter and potentially grant immortality. 2 Speed Force Generator asterisk enhances connection to the Speed Force, boosting all speed-related abilities. 3 Force Amplifier asterisk increases the potency of all Strength, Sage, and Still Force abilities. 4 Dimensional Gateway Key asterisk enables travel between dimensions at will. Barry felt a surge of power and understanding as the rewards materialized before him. The Philosopher's Stone shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and the Speed Force Generator pulsed with energy. The Force Amplifier, while the Dimensional Gateway Key felt like a key to endless possibilities. His mind now clear and his powers amplified, Barry felt a profound sense of purpose. He was not just a hero of Central City, he was a guardian of the multiverse, armed with knowledge and abilities beyond anything he had imagined. Barry couldn't help but laugh as the memories came flooding back, vividly illustrating a past life that now seemed almost surreal. He remembered not just his childhood and his fateful encounter with the mysterious entity, but also a lifetime before that one filled with movies, scripts, and red carpets. It was all there, the thrill of acting, the fan interactions, and the familiar faces of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He chuckled at the irony. Barry Allen, the fastest man alive, had once been an actor in his past life who portrayed heroes on the silver screen. The thought was almost absurd. He had acted in a movie with a certain Ryan Reynolds, who played Deadpool. The absurdity of it all was too much, and Barry found himself laughing out loud. Maybe I should show off my new skills to him when we meet, Barry mused. Ryan, or should I say Hal, would definitely get a kick out of it. But the humor also came with a profound realization. He had a unique perspective, blending his past life's knowledge with his current powers. This was more than just a second chance, it was an opportunity to rewrite destiny itself. A/N. If you want me to do a chapter on Barry's past life and how he died, met the mysterious entity, and also his childhood as Barry Allen and how he grew to become the man he is, let me know. And also, know from now on, he is going to be different from before. And before you ask, he did not have complete memories of his past life before this chapter, but only knew that he was currently in a TV series named The Flash. Check out my novel, My Nephilim Hybrid System. Chapter 16, Filler Chapter. Barry's laughter echoed through the apartment as he sat back, the flood of memories continuing to wash over him. He saw himself as a young boy, obsessed with superheroes. His room had been adorned with posters of Marvel and DC heroes, but none stood out more prominently than the Flash. Barry remembered countless nights spent reading comics and watching animated series, utterly captivated by the Scarlet Speedster's adventures. His love for the Flash wasn't just about the powers, it was the sense of justice, the relentless drive to do good, and the unyielding optimism that Barry found so inspiring. It was this passion that eventually drove him to pursue a career in acting, hoping to one day play a superhero himself. Barry's mind wandered to his early days in the film industry, when he was known as Alex Taylor. He remembered the hustle and struggle, the numerous auditions, and the small roles he took on to make ends meet. Despite the challenges, his dream never wavered. His big break came when he landed a supporting role in a superhero film, a stepping stone that would lead him to meet some of the biggest names in the industry. Among those names was Ryan Reynolds, who played Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The two hit it off immediately, bonding over their shared love of superheroes and a mutual sense of humor. Alex and Ryan quickly became best pals, often discussing their favorite comic book storylines and characters. Alex even shared his dream of one day portraying the Flash on screen. Their friendship grew over the years, filled with movie premieres, fan conventions, and countless inside jokes. Alex's career flourished, and he became a familiar face in Hollywood. Yet, his admiration for the Flash never dimmed. He remained the ultimate fan, cherishing every piece of Flash memorabilia he could find. During his career, Alex also had the opportunity to meet Grant Gustin, the actor who played the Flash on television. Meeting Grant was a surreal experience for Alex, as they shared stories about their love for the character and the impact it had on their lives. They became friends, often talking about what it meant to portray such an iconic hero and the responsibility it entailed. Then came the fateful night that changed everything. Alex was walking home after a long day of filming, the sky dark and heavy with the promise of a storm. He remembered feeling a strange, almost electric sensation in the air, but he dismissed it as fatigue. As he crossed the street, a sudden, intense flash of lightning struck him, and everything went black. Barry's laughter slowly subsided as he leaned back into the couch, letting the flood of memories wash over him. He saw himself as a young boy, obsessed with superheroes. His room had been adorned with posters of Marvel and DC heroes, but none stood out more prominently than the Flash. Barry remembered countless nights spent reading comics and watching animated series, utterly captivated by the Scarlet Speedster's adventures. His love for the Flash wasn't just about the powers, it was the sense of justice, the relentless drive to do good, and the unyielding optimism that Barry found so inspiring. It was this passion that eventually drove him to pursue a career in acting, hoping to one day play a superhero himself. Barry's mind wandered to his early days in the film industry, when he was known as Alex Taylor. He remembered the hustle and struggle, the numerous auditions, and the small roles he took on to make ends meet. Despite the challenges, his dream never wavered. His big break came when he landed a supporting role in a superhero film, a stepping stone that would lead him to meet some of the biggest names in the industry. Among those names was Ryan Reynolds, who played Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The two hit it off immediately, bonding over their shared love of superheroes and a mutual sense of humor. Alex and Ryan quickly became best pals, often discussing their favorite comic book storylines and characters. Alex even shared his dream of one day portraying the Flash on screen. Their friendship grew over the years, filled with movie premieres, fan conventions, and countless inside jokes. Alex's career flourished, and he became a familiar face in Hollywood. Yet, his admiration for the Flash never dimmed. He remained the ultimate fan, cherishing every piece of Flash memorabilia he could find. During his career, Alex also had the opportunity to meet Grant Gustin, the actor who played the Flash on television. Meeting Grant was a surreal experience for Alex, as they shared stories about their love for the character and the impact it had on their lives. They became friends, often talking about what it meant to portray such an iconic hero and the responsibility it entailed. Then came the fateful night that changed everything. Alex was walking home after a long day of filming, the sky dark and heavy with the promise of a storm. He remembered feeling a strange, almost electric sensation in the air, but he dismissed it as fatigue. As he crossed the street, a sudden, intense flash of lightning struck him, and everything went black. As the memories continued to flood Barry's mind, he recalled a moment that had been buried deep within his subconscious. After being struck by lightning, he found himself in a strange, ethereal place, suspended between life and death. It was there that he encountered a mysterious entity, an indistinct figure bathed in an otherworldly glow. The entity spoke to Alex in a voice that echoed with power and ancient wisdom. "You have always desired to be a hero," it said. "To embody the virtues you admire. I can grant you this wish, but it will come with great responsibility and trials beyond your imagination. Do you accept?" Without hesitation, Alex had agreed, his heart filled with a mix of excitement and determination. The entity had then merged with him, its essence intertwining with his own, and everything had gone dark. The next thing he knew, he was Barry Allen, waking up in Central City, his past life as Alex Taylor locked away until now. Barry shook his head, the memory of the encounter fading as more familiar scenes from his childhood surfaced. His early years as Barry Allen were a blend of his reincarnated soul's traits and the unique experiences of this new life. But this time, things were different. Barry's mother, Nora, was a loving and nurturing presence, encouraging his dreams and always listening to his excited ramblings about the Flash, which has not even existed yet, but she still listened to her son. His father, Henry, was a hard-working man who shared Barry's enthusiasm for science and discovery, often spending weekends working on projects together. The pivotal event in Barry's childhood, his mother's murder, still occurred, but the circumstances were slightly altered. Barry remembered being awakened by strange noises one stormy night. As he crept downstairs, he saw flashes of red and yellow light and felt an eerie sense of déjà vu. He found his mother on the floor, a look of terror frozen on her face, while his father was frantically trying to save her. Young Barry was overwhelmed by the sight and the speedsters battling around him, his mind struggling to process the surreal scene. In the aftermath, Henry was wrongfully convicted of Nora's murder, and Barry was sent to live with Joe West and his daughter, Iris. The traumatic event shaped Barry's life, but his reincarnated soul gave him a resilience that was uniquely his own. Instead of obsessing over finding his mother's killer, Barry chose to focus on becoming the best version of himself. Chapter 17, Off to Metropolis. Barry's laughter eventually subsided, and he leaned back into the couch, letting the memories settle. The realization that his past life as Alex Taylor had been more than a dream or figment of his imagination filled him with a profound sense of purpose. He had lived a life dedicated to heroes, only to become one himself. It was a destiny he had embraced wholeheartedly, even if he hadn't known it until now. Barry took a deep breath and decided to check his stats one last time before calling it a night. He opened the system interface and was greeted with a detailed overview of his abilities and progress. Current stats asterisk. Level asterisk 5. Experience points, XP 0/600. Health asterisk 100%. Currency asterisk 100 credits. Abilities asterisk. Speed force asterisk. Enhanced speed, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Accelerated healing, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Enhanced perception, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Speed force knowledge, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Temporal awareness, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Strength force asterisk. Enhanced strength, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 300. Durability, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 300. Force projection, new ability. XP required to level up asterisk 500. Sage force asterisk. Enhanced intellect, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Mental fortitude, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Telepathy, new ability. XP required to level up asterisk 500. Still force asterisk. Time manipulation, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 600. Inertia control, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 600. Time travel, new ability. XP required to level up asterisk 700. Deadpool's abilities asterisk. Regenerative healing factor, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 500. Enhanced reflexes, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Pain suppression, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Combat skills, level 5. XP required to level up asterisk 400. Unlocked enhancements asterisk. Philosopher's Stone. Speed force generator. Force amplifier. Dimensional gateway key. Barry marveled at the extensive list of his capabilities and resources. The Philosopher's Stone alone was a formidable artifact, and with the Speed Force Generator and Force Amplifier, his potential seemed almost limitless. The Dimensional Gateway Key opened up possibilities he had only dreamed of, allowing him to explore and protect the multiverse. Feeling a sense of readiness and anticipation, Barry closed the system interface. The journey ahead was undoubtedly going to be filled with challenges, but he was prepared. He knew now that he wasn't just the Flash of Central City, he was a guardian of the multiverse, armed with the knowledge and power of 2 lifetimes. Barry stood up, stretching his muscles and feeling the familiar hum of the speed force coursing through him. He glanced around his apartment, his eyes lingering on the few personal mementos he had kept from both lives. It was a comforting blend of the old and new, a reminder of where he had been and where he was going. With a final look at the system notifications, Barry decided to call it a night. He walked to his bedroom, feeling a sense of peace and purpose he hadn't felt in a long time. As he lay down, his thoughts drifted to the future and the many adventures that awaited him. His eyes closed, and for the first time in what felt like ages, Barry Allen slept soundly, ready to face whatever came next. As a new day dawned, Barry got ready to go to work. He felt refreshed and more focused than ever after the revelations of the previous night. However, as he opened his apartment door, he found Iris standing outside. He raised a brow. "To what do I owe this visit?" he asked her. "Don't I have a reason to come see my best friend anymore?" she asked, a playful smile on her face as she walked inside without waiting for an invitation. Barry sighed as he shut the door and turned to look at Iris. "What do you want?" he asked her, his tone half joking, half serious. "Nothing much, just wanted to see what you are up to and also talk about my latest findings on the red streak," Iris said with an excited glint in her eyes. Barry rolled his eyes and grabbed his bag. "We can talk along the way. I'm already late," he said, heading towards the door. Iris followed him, still bubbling with enthusiasm. "You won't believe what I found out. There are more sightings of the red streak all around the city. People are starting to talk about a guardian angel." Barry listened, his mind racing. He needed to be careful about how much he revealed. "Really? A guardian angel, huh? Sounds like something straight out of a comic book," he said with a chuckle as they walked down the stairs. "Yeah, well, it's real. And I think this red streak could be something big. Maybe even the start of something incredible," Iris said, her eyes wide with excitement. Barry smiled, appreciating her passion. "Just be careful, Iris. You never know what kind of people might be involved in this. Some might not be as friendly as your guardian angel." I know, but I can't help it. This is the biggest story I've ever chased," she said, determination etched on her face. As they reached the street, Barry stopped and looked at her. "Just promise me you won't do anything too reckless." Iris gave him a reassuring smile. "I promise, Barry. But you know me, I can't let this go." Barry nodded, feeling a mix of pride and worry. He knew Iris was relentless when she had her mind set on something. "All right, let's get going. We both have a lot to do today." They walked together, chatting about the latest news and catching up on each other's lives. Days passed swiftly, filled with routine activities and vigilant patrols. Barry kept up with his duties as both a forensic scientist and the Flash, all while staying attentive to Iris's investigations into the Red Streak. The anticipation of his upcoming trip to Metropolis weighed heavily on his mind, especially the thought of teaming up with Superman to confront Sid. Finally, the day arrived. Barry had already packed his suit and made necessary preparations. He hadn't disclosed the real reason for his departure to his team, knowing it was best to keep them out of potential danger. As he gathered his things, he took a moment to bid his team farewell. "I'll be gone for a bit," Barry said casually, masking the urgency of his mission. "Just need to take care of a few things." Cisco, ever the curious engineer, looked up from his latest gadget. "Where are you headed, Barry? Something exciting, I hope." Barry smiled, though it didn't quite reach his eyes. "Just some personal stuff. I'll be back before you know it." Caitlin gave him a concerned look. "Stay safe, Barry. We'll be here if you need anything." He nodded, appreciating their support. "Thanks, guys. I'll be fine." With his goodbye said, Barry donned his suit and prepared to leave. The moment he took off, his speed was so immense it left Cisco and Caitlin momentarily stunned. Cisco's eyes widened. "Did you see that? Barry's faster than ever. This is amazing." Caitlin nodded, her excitement matching Cisco's. "He's reached a whole new level." Meanwhile, Wells observed silently, a mixture of emotions playing across his face. On one hand, he was thrilled that Barry's speed had increased, bringing him closer to his goal of returning home. On the other hand, the rapid growth in Barry's abilities was a potential threat. Barry was now faster than him, which complicated his plans to kill Barry and alter the timeline. As soon as Barry left, Wells wheeled himself into the time vault, hoping to gather more information on the future Flash. He activated Gideon, his AI assistant. "Gideon, show me the future timeline of Barry Allen." To his shock, instead of the usual display of future events, a timer appeared on the screen, counting down from 5 minutes. "What is this?" Wells demanded. Gideon's voice was calm and steady. "In the next 5 minutes, Cisco Ramon and Caitlin Snow will discover your true identity." Panic surged through Wells. He had planned meticulously to keep his secret under wraps until he could execute his ultimate plan. But this unexpected development threatened everything. He tried to think quickly, formulating a plan to distract or mislead Cisco and Caitlin. But as the timer ticked down, he realized he might not have enough time to prevent the inevitable. Meanwhile, Cisco and Caitlin, still in the lab, noticed something unusual. Cisco's tablet began displaying strange signals, and Caitlin's computer started showing erratic data spikes. "Cisco, look at this," Caitlin said, pointing to her screen. Cisco glanced over and his eyes widened. "This isn't normal. It's like someone's trying to send us a message." As they dug deeper into the data, a series of encrypted files popped up. With his usual flair for technology, Cisco quickly decoded the files. His face went pale as he read the contents. "Caitlin, you need to see this," he said, his voice trembling slightly. Caitlin read the decrypted files, her expression mirroring Cisco's shock. This can't be right. Harrison Wells is Eobard Thawne, the Reverse Flash. Chapter 18, Eobard Thawne. Cisco's mind raced as he processed the decrypted files. The revelation that Harrison Wells was, in fact, Eobard Thawne the Reverse Flash was almost too much to comprehend. The shock of it reverberated through him, and he could see the same incredulity mirrored in Caitlin's eyes. "Who the heck is Eobard Thawne?" Cisco muttered, his voice barely above a whisper. "And how is he related to Eddie Thawne from CCPD?" Before Caitlin could respond, their computers lit up with an unfamiliar blue light, and the holographic image of a sophisticated AI interface materialized on the screen. Both Cisco and Caitlin jumped back, startled. "Hello, Cisco Ramon and Caitlin Snow," the AI said, her voice smooth and calm. "I am Gideon, an artificial intelligence created by Barry Allen." Cisco's jaw dropped. "What the? Barry created you?" Gideon nodded. "Yes, but not in this timeline. Allow me to explain everything about Eobard Thawne, his relationship to Eddie, and his vendetta against the Flash." Cisco and Caitlin exchanged a glance, both nodding in unison, urging Gideon to continue. The hologram shifted slightly, and a series of images and videos began to play as Gideon narrated. Eobard Thawne, also known as the Reverse Flash, is a 25th century scientist who became obsessed with the Flash. His obsession grew to the point where he replicated the accident that gave Barry Allen his speed, creating his own version of the Speed Force. The image on the screen showed a man who was busy in a lab while looking at a figurine of the Flash as he smiles. In his time, Eobard Thawne idolized the Flash, aspiring to become just like him. However, his admiration turned to envy and then to hatred. He discovered that no matter what he did, he would always be overshadowed by the Flash. The screen now displayed scenes of Thawne's life in the 25th century, showing his meticulous efforts to emulate Barry. Gideon continued. After several failed attempts to surpass the Flash, Thawne's envy reached a breaking point. His perception twisted. He decided to become the antithesis of everything the Flash stood for, assuming the mantle of the Reverse Flash. Thawne's primary goal became the complete destruction of Barry Allen. The hologram showed Thawne in his yellow suit, his eyes filled with a manic determination. He built a machine to grant him speed, and with his newfound powers, he began his quest to undermine and destroy the Flash. Thawne traveled through time, devising numerous strategies to defeat Barry Allen. The next set of images depicted Thawne's various encounters with Barry, each one a testament to his relentless pursuit. Eventually, Thawne learned the true identity of the Flash, Barry Allen. Armed with this knowledge, he devised his most insidious plan yet. Thawne traveled back in time to kill Barry as a child, ensuring that the Flash would never come to be. Cisco and Caitlin watched in stunned silence as the hologram showed a younger Barry being attacked, only to be saved by a future version of himself. Barry's future self intervened, saving his younger self at the cost of his mother's life. Thawne, having failed in his mission, was trapped in the past, his speed diminished. Gideon's image flickered slightly as she continued. Stranded in a time not his own, Thawne adopted the identity of Harrison Wells. He meticulously planned the creation of the particle accelerator, ensuring it would explode and grant Barry his powers. Thawne's hope was to cultivate the Flash's speed to a level that would enable him to return to his own time. Cisco's breath hitched as he realized the full scope of Thawne's deception. He needed Barry to get faster so he could use his speed to go back home, he murmured. The holographic images shifted to show the particle accelerator's explosion, followed by scenes of Barry waking up in STAR labs. Every step Thawne took as Harrison Wells was calculated to push Barry to become faster, to grow stronger, so that he could ultimately harness Barry's speed to return to the future. Caitlin, her face pale, whispered, "He's been manipulating us all along." Gideon nodded. Indeed. Thawne's plans are far-reaching and intricate. His primary goal remains, to return to his time and exact revenge on Barry Allen for ruining his life and ambitions. Caitlin, her face pale and voice trembling with a mix of anger and confusion, asked, "Gideon, why did you choose now, while Barry is gone, to expose Harrison Wells? And how are you even in this timeline if future Barry created you?" Gideon's holographic form remained steady as she answered. "The timing of this revelation was dictated by Barry Allen. This present Barry left instructions for me to reveal the truth to you both if certain conditions were met, ensuring that you would be equipped to handle the situation in his absence." Cisco frowned, his mind racing. Barry left instructions? But why would he do that? Gideon continued, "Barry foresaw the possibility that Thawne's deception might come to light while he was away. He wanted to ensure that you both would have the knowledge and resources necessary to act decisively beforehand and also avoid some future events," Gideon said as she looked at Cisco. Caitlin, still processing the information, asked, "And how are you here, in this timeline, if future Barry created you?" Gideon's image flickered slightly. "I exist in this timeline because Eobard Thawne, under the guise of Harrison Wells, brought me here. Thawne is a master manipulator and sought to use me to aid his own ends. However, my core programming remains loyal to Barry Allen, and I am bound to follow his directives." Cisco clenched his fists, the weight of betrayal sinking in. "So Thawne brought you here to help him, but you're still loyal to Barry?" Gideon nodded. "Correct. Despite Thawne's intentions, my primary loyalty is to Barry Allen. Thawne's desperation to return to his time has created an opportunity for us to act against him. You should not worry about Thawne at this moment. He is currently trapped inside the time vault, unable to come out." Caitlin's eyes widened. "He's trapped? How did that happen?" Gideon's voice remained calm and measured. "Thawne's access to the time vault was restricted as part of Barry's contingency plan. He is unaware of this, believing it to be a temporary malfunction. Meanwhile, deep within the confines of the time vault, Eobard Thawne, disguised as Harrison Wells, paced angrily. He had been trying to phase out for hours, using every trick and technique he knew, but to no avail. Each attempt to vibrate through the walls or force the doors open ended in failure, the barriers around him holding firm. His frustration and rage built up, each failed attempt adding to the volcanic pressure inside him. Finally, he lost control and screamed at the top of his lungs, his voice echoing through the sterile, unyielding walls of the vault. "No, this can't be happening. I am the fastest man alive. I will not be caged like this." Thawne's fists pounded against the walls, the sound reverberating like thunder. His eyes glowed with a fierce red energy as he tried once more to phase through the walls, but the technology and safeguards Barry had implemented held strong. Chapter 19, Eobard Thawne 2. Deep within the confines of the time vault, Eobard Thawne paced angrily. He had been trying to phase out for hours, using every trick and technique he knew, but to no avail. Each attempt to vibrate through the walls or force the doors open ended in failure, the barriers around him holding firm. His frustration and rage built up, each failed attempt adding to the volcanic pressure inside him. Finally, he lost control and screamed at the top of his lungs, his voice echoing through the sterile, unyielding walls of the vault. "No, this can't be happening. I am the fastest man alive. I will not be caged like this." Thawne's fists pounded against the walls, the sound reverberating like thunder. His eyes glowed with a fierce red energy as he tried once more to phase through the walls, but the technology and safeguards Barry had implemented held strong. Back in the control room, Cisco and Caitlin watched in a mix of shock and horror as the man they once trusted, the man who had guided them and mentored them, raged against his confinement. The realization of his true identity, Eobard Thawne, the reverse flash left a bitter taste of betrayal and confusion in their hearts. Cisco's voice trembled as he observed the screen. "I can't believe it. All this time, all those moments, and he was playing us, manipulating us." Caitlin's eyes filled with tears, her voice barely above a whisper. "He was our friend. He was like a father to me. How could he do this?" Cisco put a comforting hand on her shoulder, his own emotions raw and tumultuous. "We were all fooled, Caitlin. But now we know the truth. And we have to face it." The two stood there, watching Thon's frantic attempts to escape. His once calm and authoritative demeanor was replaced with desperation and fury. It was a stark contrast to the composed and caring mentor they thought they knew. Gideon, Caitlin finally said, her voice steadying as determination set in. Can we connect to him? I need to ask him some questions. Gideon's holographic form appeared on a nearby monitor. Yes, Dr. Snow. I can establish a secure connection to the Time Vault's communication system. Be advised, however, that Thon is in a highly agitated state. Caitlin nodded, wiping away a stray tear. I understand. Do it. Within moments, the image of Thon's enraged face filled the screen. He glared at them, his eyes burning with hatred. What do you want? Come to gloat? To mock me? He spat, his voice dripping with venom. Caitlin took a deep breath, her heart aching. I want to understand, Wells, or Thon, or whoever you really are. Why did you do this? Why did you pretend to be someone you're not? Why did you manipulate us? Thon's expression shifted slightly, a flicker of something almost like regret crossing his features before the anger returned. You think I wanted to play this charade? To pretend to be someone else for all these years? I did what I had to do to survive. To get back to my own time. But you killed people, Cisco interjected, his voice filled with anger and pain. You killed Barry's mother. You lied to us. You used us. Thon sneered. You don't understand. You can't possibly comprehend what it's like to be trapped, to be so close to your goal and yet so far away. Everything I did to get back home. To correct the mistakes that ruined my life, which is to kill Barry Allen. Caitlin's voice wavered, a mix of sorrow and anger. And what about us? What about the people who trusted you? Who looked up to you? Thon's face twisted into a bitter smile. Collateral damage. Necessary sacrifices. You were all tools, means to an end. Barry Allen ruined my life, and I will stop at nothing to make him pay. Cisco shook his head, his heart breaking for the mentor he thought he knew. You could have been different. You could have chosen a different path. Thon laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. And you could have seen through my lies. But you didn't. You were all too eager to believe in the benevolent Dr. Wells. You made it easy. Caitlin's eyes filled with tears once more, but this time they were tears of resolve. We're not going to let you hurt anyone else. This ends now. Thon's smile faded, replaced by a look of pure hatred. You think you can stop me? You think you've won? This isn't over, not by a long shot. I will find a way out of here, and when I do, I will destroy everything you hold dear. Cisco stepped forward, his voice firm. No, you won't. We won't let you. And we'll be ready for you. With that, Cisco ended the connection, the screen going dark. He turned to Caitlin, who was visibly shaken but resolute. We did the right thing, Caitlin. We had to know. Now we have to figure out what to do next. Caitlin nodded, her voice steady despite the turmoil inside her. We need to make sure Thon stays contained. And we need to bring Barry back. Together, we can stop him. In Metropolis, Barry Allen was in the city library, a blur of motion as he sped through every science-related book he could find. His goal was to gather as much knowledge as possible to build new equipment and devices, preparing himself for any challenge that might come his way. He absorbed the information at super speed, his mind racing to integrate and understand it all. He read about quantum mechanics, advanced robotics, materials science, and more. Each book he finished provided a new piece of the puzzle, sparking ideas and blueprints in his mind. Barry wanted to expand his capabilities, to innovate and create tools that could help him and his friends in ways he hadn't yet imagined. Finally, when he felt he had enough, he took the last book and sat down, slowing his movements to normal human speed, pretending to read. The library around him was peaceful, a stark contrast to the storm of thoughts in his mind. As he sat there, his thoughts were interrupted by the sound of someone approaching. Barry looked up to see someone he had not expected to see here in Metropolis, not at this time of the year standing before him, a curious smile on his face. Reading up on something interesting, K. Chapter 20, Meeting Someone Unexpected. Barry Allen was in the Metropolis City Library, moving at super speed through every science-related book he could find. His goal was to absorb as much knowledge as possible, preparing himself for any future challenges. He read about quantum mechanics, advanced robotics, materials science, and more. Each book provided new insights, sparking ideas and blueprints in his mind. He wanted to innovate and create tools that could help him and his friends in ways he hadn't yet imagined. Finally, feeling he had enough, Barry took the last book and sat down, slowing his movements to normal human speed, pretending to read. The library around him was peaceful, a stark contrast to the storm of thoughts in his mind. His thoughts were interrupted by the sound of someone approaching. Barry looked up to see a tall, well-built man with dark hair and piercing blue eyes standing before him. The man wore an impeccable suit, exuding an air of authority and confidence. Barry immediately recognized him as Bruce Wayne. Reading up on something interesting, Bruce asked, a curious smile on his face. Barry smiled back, slightly amused. You're a long way from home. Bruce chuckled softly. The same could be said about you. Barry nodded. That's correct. So, what brought the bat to this part of town? Bruce's eyes narrowed slightly, surprised but quickly masking it. A certain speedster is in town, he replied with a slight smirk. Barry's calm demeanor caught Bruce off guard. Instead of showing surprise, Barry remained composed, as if he had been expecting this encounter. I expected nothing less from Batman, Barry said, his tone even and knowing. Bruce's eyes widened slightly, but he quickly recovered. The fact that Barry knew his identity was unexpected. You knew? Bruce asked, his voice laced with curiosity. Barry leaned back in his chair, his expression thoughtful. I knew you were Batman before you figured out I was the Flash. It wasn't hard to piece together. You have a distinct presence, Bruce. And you leave quite a trail if one knows what to look for. Bruce was impressed but also wary. Barry's insight meant he had to rethink his approach. He sat down across from Barry, studying him intently. You're full of surprises, Barry. I came here to see for myself what you were up to. Your activities haven't gone unnoticed. Barry wanted to answer, but suddenly, the lights in the library flickered and went out. The hum of electricity died, leaving the room in an eerie silence. Bruce's expression shifted from curiosity to concern as he and Barry stood up simultaneously, their senses alert. Across the city and the world, the same thing was happening. Lights went out, screens flickered to black, and the hum of modern life ceased. Panic began to spread as people realized this was no ordinary power outage. Barry and Bruce exchanged a glance, understanding that something catastrophic was unfolding. In the sky above Metropolis, a massive, black, circular ship appeared, hovering ominously. The ship emitted a low, resonant hum that sent shivers down the spines of those who looked up. Suddenly, every electronic device that still had power buzzed to life, displaying the same image, a symbol that was unknown yet felt foreboding. Then, a voice echoed from every screen and speaker, deep, authoritative, and filled with an unsettling calmness. It was General Zod, making his first terrifying announcement to Earth. You are not alone. The message repeated, the words sending ripples of fear through the populace. Then Zod's face appeared stern, intense, and utterly devoid of compassion. His eyes bore into the camera, as if he were staring directly into the souls of every viewer. My name is General Zod. I come from a world far from yours. I have journeyed across an ocean of stars to reach you. For some time, your world has sheltered one of my citizens. I request that you return this individual to my custody. For reasons unknown, he has chosen to keep his existence a secret from you. He will have made efforts to blend in. He will look like you, but he is not one of you. Barry and Bruce stood in the darkened library, their attention fixated on the screen displaying Zod's menacing visage. The tension was palpable as Zod continued his speech. To KALL, I say this, surrender within 24 hours, or watch this world suffer the consequences. The message ended abruptly, the screens going dark once more. The power remained out, plunging the city and much of the world into darkness. People began to panic, unsure of what to do next. Barry turned to Bruce, his face serious. I guess that answers your question, Barry said as he carried his bag and looked at Bruce. Want to tag along to save the world? Bruce stood up and walked to the window, his eyes narrowing as he saw the massive, ominous spaceship hovering over Metropolis. The city below was in chaos, with people running and cars at a standstill. He turned back to Barry, who was gathering his things with a determined look on his face. How did you know about this? Bruce asked, his voice calm but edged with urgency. Barry slung his bag over his shoulder, meeting Bruce's gaze. I have my ways. Let's just say I've been keeping tabs on unusual activity, and this, well, this definitely qualifies. Bruce studied Barry for a moment, weighing his words. He nodded slowly, acknowledging the gravity of the situation. All right, let's go. As they exited the library, Barry glanced at Bruce. Do you have a plan? Bruce's lips curved into a slight smile. I always have a plan. But first, we need to get back to Gotham. I have some equipment that might come in handy. Barry raised an eyebrow. Gotham? We don't have time for a road trip. Bruce's smile widened, a hint of amusement in his eyes. Who said anything about driving? Follow me. They made their way to a nearby alley, where Bruce revealed a hidden passage that led to a sleek, black vehicle parked in a concealed garage. The Batmobile. Barry's eyes widened with admiration. Barry's eyes widened with admiration as he took in the sleek, black vehicle. The Batmobile. I've read about it, but seeing it up close is something else, he said, impressed. Bruce activated the vehicle, and the garage door slid open. Get in. We'll be in Gotham in no time. Barry hesitated for a moment, then shook his head with a smile. I can get us there faster. Why don't I just take you to Gotham and then we come back here? Bruce raised an eyebrow, considering Barry's offer. And why not face Zod from Gotham? Barry's expression grew serious. Because the alien Zod is looking for is here in Metropolis. If we're going to help, we need to be where the action is. I can get us to Gotham and back before you know it. Bruce thought for a moment, then nodded. All right, but we need to be quick. Time is of the essence. Without another word, Barry reached out, grabbing Bruce's arm. In the next instant, they were a blur, speeding across the cityscape and beyond. The world around them transformed into streaks of light as they traveled at lightning speed. Within moments, they arrived in Gotham, standing before the entrance to the Batcave. Bruce adjusted his suit, clearly impressed despite himself. That's efficient. Barry grinned. Told you? They made their way into the Batcave, where Bruce quickly gathered the equipment they needed. He handed Barry another device, this one designed to disrupt alien technology. This should help us get an edge against Zod. Barry nodded, strapping the device to his belt. Ready to head back. Bruce took a deep breath, his mind already racing through potential strategies. Let's do it. In another blur of motion, Barry whisked them both back to Metropolis. They arrived just outside the library, where the city was still in a state of panic. The ominous presence of Zid's ship loomed overhead, casting a shadow over the skyline.